3, 2, 1, go. Welcome everyone to yet another fantastic episode of WarHams.
Friends will abandon you.
Grow fat from strength.
I was on it this time. I was on the slider this time to help us not destroy the ears and everything else. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone back. Happy and everything. And first off, before we start anything, I have important announcements to make because this is going to show up as a VOD and stuff. And some people like to click off and go later on the thing. This is really important. This is really, really important. You listen to all this or else you're going to be really confused where things went. So hope everyone can peek their ears a little bit. First off, I want to make sure everyone is aware that, for one, we are now going to continue with WarHams. One of the first things that we decided to do is at our announcement video that we're like, okay, cool. Or is this something people like? Is this something that people are really going to enjoy? And it seems we've done a good enough job to where we can now legitimize continuing on with WarHams. So WarHams is now going to be a thing. We're going to keep on going with it until everything crashes and burns. Second thing is that all of the future VODs will no longer be on Alpha's channel. We decided to shift some things around, you know, based on some discussions and stuff that we've had and looking at some things. We're shifting the VODs, which are on the YouTube channel. Basically, you'll see all the VODs still on Twitch just fine. But all of them be shifted over to my channel. So just so everyone is aware, we are shifting it over. Don't worry, we always have a discussion with this and stuff. Me and Alpha sat down, kind of went through all this stuff, and we kind of feel for this so he can concentrate on doing the animations and stuff. And so the only thing you'll see coming on his channel are animations from the show whenever he gets time to do those. So hopefully you guys can enjoy those. But if you want to see what happens after the live stream, basically my YouTube channel is where those VODs are going to be. But the first 5 episodes will be freely available right on Alpha's channel. They're not going anywhere. They're not getting deleted. They're going to be purely dominant right there. All like episode 6, not episode 5, but episode 6 is where all that is going to start going. This episode 5 should be going up on his channel. Next thing is that all the gate system that we've been trying to go with is now going to come into effect starting on episode 6. So basically, if you are a supporter of us on Patreon, which I hope you guys have, all the awesome people who've been contributing is doing an amazing job keeping this going, that on Patreon, we do a kind of a gated time system. So, you know, if you have no money, if you have no way to contribute, it's okay. We wanted to structure this so no one has to pay a dime to see this show. So basically, the only thing that really happens is that after within 2 weeks or so, the VOD will then come out. And if you want to catch everything early, you can support the Patreon and be part of the show via that. We're also potentially brainstorming some ideas to add some new things into it. So still stay tuned to our Patreon page here for blog updates and a whole bunch of stuff, because that's where we try to inform everyone. We use it as a blog system, away as a content channel system. So check out the Patreon if you haven't already to kind of see all the awesome stuff that we have going on with it. Further on, and yeah, so all that will be there. Also, if you have not seen on my channel so far, which one thing I forgot to include, episode 0, which was the first episode, kind of like the episode 0 that we did at the pre-show, which is the one that you saw the animation with Braine killing on the light bulbs and stuff. It is now on my channel. Episode 0 is on my channel right now. So if you want to go in and see it, it's right on my channel right now. After the show, I encourage you to go see it. And all future VODs and stuff once more will be over there. Other than that, if we do hit 1,000 concurrent viewers, we will be giving away a 9th edition core rulebook. I am willing to even put my own money and increase that up to 3 core rulebooks in total. This is out of my own wallet that I'm going to do this from, to buy 3 people 9th edition core rulebooks if we hit 1,000 concurrent viewers. So tell your Discord and tell your friends, everything else. And additionally, now that I'm done with all of that, all the fun announcement bits, let's see who is going to be suffering with me today. Starting off with Braine.
Yes, I am Speaker D. I am playing Braine, the pernicious guitar.
And next up we have Reeb Van Horn, our inquisitorial acolyte, played by.
Hello, I'm Earndil. I am still here, regrettably. I am the medic, and I keep people from dying, even if they keep dying a moment later.
And the captain of the debt collector, Captain Zedek, our rogue trader, is played by.
That would be me, HulkyKrow. I look pretty, so you don't have to. Don't worry, I know you appreciate it.
And I am your host, ZoranTheBear. I play Lorn, our sanctioned psyker, in quotation marks. And the one who will be torturing us today is our illustrious game master.
Hello. Hi, I'm Thurston Hillman, aka Uncle GM. And I'm excited for today. I'm gonna make y'all hurt in new ways you didn't think possible. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun. Grimdark Future is all about fun.
It took every fiber of my being to not press the nostalgia critic button.
I know. I appreciate your restraint. It was for you, Earndil.
Cool, and on how this show works for anybody that is new, as I now turn off this overlay, you'll see these dice that are around here. So this is a way that you can help support the show and kind of influence the game a little bit. And as we said in the past, that we focus on fun first and not wallets. So if you don't have any money, don't worry. You still get the show for free, get to have a good time. But if you do want to help contribute, so basically help pay for all the awesome art that we get to order and put on the show every single time and just help support us so we don't, live in cardboard boxes with an Ethernet cord plugged into it. This is a good way to basically do so. You can always check out on the desktop version of Twitch by looking at our little donation thing. There will be a image there. You can click that and it should bring you over to the thing. Or the bot, if it ever does decide to work at some point in time, it'll also bring you a link. There's a link tree and everything down in the info boxes on mobile and the info tab to where you can find all the relevant links to WarHams and everything else. But you'll notice each of the dice that we have do different things. The gold ones, which are now disappearing, we start with 0 for these. These are called glory die. Basically, they allow us to basically kind of buff up some things, add a little bit more damage. They're generally just overall helpful, but they don't do a huge amount, but it's always good to have a bunch of them. The red dice, which are over on the bottom right there of the overlay, which are now disappearing to 4 because our game master starts with 4 because we play the system Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory by Cubicle 7. And he, unfortunately, starts with 4. You'll also notice the 2 dice below our portraits. You can kind of see Lorn's things lighting up. That indicates that we're talking here. And on the bottom of it, you'll see these wrath die, which should be flickering there for you. These wrath die are like say, for example, if you played 9th edition or 8th edition Warhammer 40k and you re-rolled failed dice rolls, that's kind of what it does for us, because this is a D6 system game. So that's how all the dice work. And remember, I'm going to steal Thurston's kind of thing here. Remember, this is still tabletop RPG games. We can get rules wrong. Things can mess up. We might mess up a rule. So please forgive us if we mess up any rules and stuff like that. And if we do mess them up, please tell us on our Twitters and things like that of rules that we horribly messed up so we can do them better next time. Sorry for stealing your thing, Thurston, but I think the floor is now going to be yours.
Thief.
So what do we have today?
Thief. I am
a
all right.
thief.
You're a fucking thief. Okay. Let's get underway with today's episode, session 5. So quick recap of our previous session. Basically what happened last session was the PCs enjoyed a trip through the warp on the debt collector, and no chicanery or funnies happened at all. It was a really just normal trip through the warp, and if you're interested in that, go check out last episode. But they were on their way to meet up with Minister Moderatum Katja van Noord, their superior in the Crusade fleet that they are a part of, and it's part of the Officio Ambassadorius. The PCs our heroes are making their way, having exited the warp now, and taking a shuttle to meet Katja van Noord on board her ship, the Magnum Aurum Victorium. This immense golden barge that the small Arvis lighter that the players have taken over there shrinks as it gets closer to. Reaching the docking bay, our players are escorted by a group of well-armed naval armsmen through a crowded and bustling ship. Now, Along with this, I think our players have brought along some offerings with them for their meeting with Catch Van Nord. So I'm going to hand things over to Captain Zedek as you're making your way through the Magnum Aurum Victorium. Captain Zedek, can you explain who you have brought along with you?
So, in line with our mission for our good lady, we have brought along a cooking staff as per her small request. This cooking staff is, of course, comprised of the reputable cousin Mejmej and, well, his wonderfully helpful cook staff. Totally not a more capable and more desirable cook who we have totally not met before.
All right, so you are bringing cousin Mejmej and I'll say probably about 6 different rattlings that you have acquired from your time on Fartham 4. Cousin Mejmej has a bit of a stoop walk. He drags behind him a sack that's filled with onions, and then there's a host of other rattlings behind who are laden down with kitchen knives, skewers, and various other implements. As their tiny tread takes them through the Aurum vessel you find yourselves in, there's just this sound of metal on metal and the sound of a sack being dragged as the rest of you advance at what is essentially a slower pace, though the rattlings are doing their best to hustle run behind you.
I mean, they do the best they can. They can only walk so fast.
Is Mejmej basically the same face as Hedge, except he has a very large bushy mustache?
Yes, yeah, and a very large bushy mustache, and one of his eyes is lazy.
Good.
Color scheme is slightly inverted. It's like a hue lighter.
It's slightly flatter colors.
Yeah. And Mejmej just sort of kind of walks again with this strange gait, and he's looking up at Captain Zedek the whole time. Where are we going?
We're going to my wonderful boss's ship, and you are going to cook for her, and you're going to have a great time, I promise.
Okay. And yeah, you just continue on, eventually reaching the strategium of the Magnum Aurum Victorium, an immense cathedral-like area that is multi-tiered with arrays of naval armsmen, deckhands, naval staff, and various built-in servitors and cogitator units. There are several floating hololithic displays that are up on a raised area in the center, which a staircase leads up to. The staircase isn't quite a spiral, though it's more like the outer edge of a square, like the outer lines of the square, sort of going up at each of the 4 points before you reach the top of it. When you do, you are once again introduced in the flesh space to your superior Minister Moderatum, Katja Van Nord, who gives you an assessing look as you appear here. She is dressed in a lovely blue ensemble with golden trim highlights. She has a lovely necklace of ruby that is studded with various diamonds of exquisite quality, which she gently fondles with her hands, which are various mechadendrite appendages. And she gives sort of a haughty raise of her head as you reach her on the upper strategium deck.
Hey GM, got a question.
Yeah, totally.
I'd like to roll a quick. It's like a scanning Medicae, if I can.
Okay.
I'd like to figure out why the fuck Katya is so fucking tall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give me a Medicae test.
He's got good bone structure.
Bones. All right, there's that Medicae.
Medicae. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably someone who has spent a lot of time on board, in space and in lower gravity environments.
Low gravity separation. Yeah.
Yeah, this woman has probably never really left the confines of a ship for a prolonged period of time. It also explains some of the droop in her facial skeletal structure as well.
She is a beanpole.
Exactly.
They don't call them high class for nothing.
And she turns and spreads her mechadendrites wide and gives kind of a half flourished bow. Ambassadors, welcome.
Reeb will do a curtsying bow because he's been trained to bow. He's an inquisitor.
How it do? We have brought you your meat creature for your disgusting food mouth.
Yeah, like 3 of them are picking their noses, one of them scratching their butt. Another one is running down the stairs for an onion that fell out of the bag.
These creatures, I am told, cook other things other than chlorinated water and goop soup. You really enjoy them.
Her mechadendrites come up in a halting motion. We must not be discussing business yet. As the Codex Familiaris laid down by the most holy of primark states, there is something we must do first.
Oh no.
Can each of you give me a scholar check, please?
I don't think we need a scholar check.
No, you all need a scholar check. This is something from Alpha.
Yeah!
Yeah! Okay. My scholar check is a 1. Because Lorn does not know anything about the world.
All right. So the results of this, for everyone listening to our show, Reeb has rolled a 6, Captain Zedek has rolled a 1, Braine has got a 6 but with a complication, and Lorn has got a 1. So the difficulty number we were looking for here was a astonishing 3, so only 2 of our players pass. So those of you, which would be Reeb and Braine, both of you know what a hug is and how to perform it. However, Captain Zedek and Lorn, the concept of a hug is very foreign to you. You've only kind of read about it in your documentation.
Yeah,
you're not exactly sure how it works. Yeah. Now, Braine, do you have any suggestions on how your knowledge is complicated? Like, is there you get the basics of a hug, but there's something else that maybe you get wrong about it?
I'm gonna fucking kill her. Oh my god. A hug is a well-known way to subdue an enemy in battle. It is a sort of grapple. I see the primarks are well learned of the methods of war. We must be tested at every angle. Prepare yourself!
Her arms are wide as though to accept like a warm greeting, though she's incredibly her head is held up high, her eyes are closed, she's arched her head, sort of expecting a regular hug. It sounds more to me like you're doing some kind of athletics tackling maneuver. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go with I don't know. I don't want to power bomb her, as funny as that would be.
Just fucking suplex her, just boom.
It's probably I'm putting her into a weird military hold.
The weak should fear the strong.
Oh gosh. Okay, give me an athletics check. Let's see what your check ends up having you do. 6. Okay.
Oh boy.
I assume what starts off as a hug becomes a pro wrestling maneuver where you manage to pin her on the ground.
Put you in the camel clutch and to make you humble.
All of the armsmen around here immediately turn. Several of them raising up their las guns, and a few of them kind of quizzically, and you just hear a catch of it. That is quite sufficient. Quite.
Are you good? Are you good? Are you tapping? Okay, and I let go.
Does she tap out? Just click, click, click.
click, 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 click. It's really hard to hear with all the mechadendrites slapping on the floor. It's kind of like a fish.
Yes! My Braine will destroy her at SummerSlam.
Okay,
right,
so
that was an experience. Next
before you continue.
Oh yeah,
that was supposed to be a player complication.
Oh, okay. So are you offering to jump on the grenade of Lorn also complicates with a failure?
Yeah, I will volunteer.
Okay.
I will volunteer.
Oh no.
So with your failure and a complication, you have no idea what a hug means. So Lorn, what is, based on your Fenrisian upbringing, what do you assume a hug means?
I assume I see like the dog pile that's happening in front of me. And so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
like-
come in and I think it's a mosh pit. So I start trying to like with my old man body going, I remember this scheme. I remember this scheme. Almost didn't even rest there. I just jump in and just grab Braine and like just try to like toss him. Or no, I grab one of the other guards who like have his weapon, like join in, and I like try to like push him into the pit or just start tackling somebody. I'm just immediately just joining in the melee. Like, this is a hug, right? Whoosh.
Lorn, this is not Blood Bowl. You don't have piling on as a trait.
But Katja Van Noord has long legs. You better believe it.
She makes passes in the end zone. Hail Mary.
Right. My gutter runner's getting there. All right. Lorn, you start like going up to a guardsman. I'll have you make an athletics test for me as well, just to see how badly this goes.
I have a 1.
You're
I complicate.
Oh my god, you complicate too.
So okay, I have to paint this picture.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
I'm gonna take the whole Blood Bowl thing. I'm like ready to tackle like one of the nearest guards. Like hugs for everyone. I'm like trying to like barrel into it, but my old man body is just breaking at every like just any impact of this guard. And I imagine the guard will then grab onto me and going, I have the block trait, and then immediately suplexes me, just bam, and just destroys me.
Roll double skull. You're down.
Yeah.
I rolled
Like,
I'm down. I rolled skull.
Oh, damn it.
like you come running, well, not even running. You come like old man advancing on this guard who immediately just tosses down their las gun and gets you in just this perfect like chokehold and puts you down, and like you hear the snapping of some of your bones, and then the armsman gets back up and kind of dusts himself off.
No, Lorn. She already tapped. We won. You didn't have to go. I was the legal man.
Reeb,
Medic.
you
Medic.
can go next.
Medic.
Patches standing up and her arms are slightly wide. Like,
Terribly sorry about that, ma'am. Reeb is going to do a very cursory hug, making sure to do it very lightly and does a light pat on her back.
oh, is this like one of those awkward hugs where you're like barely touching each other?
Mostly because I'm looking at
Air
Lorn on
hugging.
the ground. He's turned into the guy who had bonitis from a while ago.
like his face is just like purple, and he's like on the ground.
I make it as quick and painless for both her and I as quick as I can, so I can roll a Medicae to fix Lorn.
There's a sigh of relief, and then you may go and roll a Medicae to fix up Lorn.
I'm surprised I succeed.
Oh god, yeah. With like a 7, you like knock those old bones back into their correct position. But with that, that brings us to Captain Zedek. Captain Zedek, there's this gaggle off to the side. There's Pi, who's kind of doing like a victory lap around, saying he won. But Katja Van Noord has her like arms wide open still and is looking awkwardly at you. But once again, you, Captain Zedek, have no idea what a hug is. Why would a rogue trader ever need to know what a hug is? So how do you react?
Just kind of seeing what's happening. I'm like, Reeb, do I tackle her? Do I?
Not now, Zedek. It's not hard to figure out, man. Hold your shoulder for a second, Lorn.
Oh my
God.
I pass out.
Come now, Captain Zedek.
I'll walk up to Lady Cassia. I'll just kind of not sure if I should tackle her or if I should gently wrap my arms around her. I'll kind of reach my hand up to her hand and just gently shake it, point a finger at her, and just do a finger gun. Very awkwardly and back off. I was never taught how to do this. My folks never taught me how to do this.
As you back off, both of her mechadendrite arms surround you like in like a split second of pulling you inwards and then let go. And as she lets go, there's almost like a push as they come back around, and she kind of sends you sprawling back, and then she kind of lets in this big breath and then a sigh of relief of, oh, it's done. Good. Welcome, friends. Now that the Primark mandated big hug is complete, you may inform me of the debriefing of your events on Fathom 4.
Wonderful.
I immediately
Is Lorn
become
okay over
unconscious.
there?
The fucker, he's a traitor. Let's kill him. I'll fucking kill him. Am I
Are you
crawling?
referring to Slayer de Fuckerby, the 24th of his name?
Yes.
He has to be referred to by that. Okay.
Yes,
You're going to
yes.
want to get a 25th sometime soon because the 24th model's bogus.
We received his update remotely when he briefly translated in system before his next appointed mission. His vessel is making its way to the Ghoul Stars already, which is where our fleet is making its muster towards next.
Oh, bloody hell.
Great.
Yeah, I cannot confirm that probably everything he told you was like wrong and also stupid, and we can prove it.
Well, he had indicated that you had performed somewhat admirably in recruiting a large swath of the population, but that you had otherwise failed in preventing mass damage to much of the industry there.
It wasn't so much of preventing mass damage as they started to become more hedonistic than their minds could handle.
Crunch, crunch, as one of the ratlings has now pulled out an onion and
Crunch.
looks around sheepishly as he's eating it.
The onions ain't the only things crunching right now.
You see, they have that funny tendency to just eat, but also do what they're told, and sometimes that happens to be eating things that aren't food, like people.
Well,
So we sort of stopped that from happening. I think it fixed itself. But they're really good cooks, and look, we got this wonderful chef entourage for you, as you requested.
as if on cue, like cousin Mej is like trying to pop a pimple on the side of his face and looks up. What?
We assure you that these people are not to be underestimated, and not to judge a book by its admittedly dirty cover.
And her eyes go wide as Kasha Van Nord looks over the assembled mass that you have brought. Again, like many of them scratching in awkward ways. One of them like bent down with plumber butt into the bag in order to like obtain some goods to snack on. And like her eyes go wide as she looks on this mass that you have brought to her. And then her eyes, like still wide with some form of shock, turn towards all of you. What?
They
got
don't
cooked.
look like much. I swear to you, I've had the best barbecue I've ever eaten.
There. And her eyes go back, and like again, one of them is scratching himself. Another one is just sat down from boredom. She looks back at you. What? They're perfect! And she turns and rushes towards them and like starts bringing them together in like one big hug with her mechadendrites. Oh, I've waited so long for a cooking staff who understands the finer things in life. Yes, and she like lets her grip down, turns, kind of tuts herself a little bit. Yes, but rest assured, this will be noted as bonus points for you.
I look at Braine, and I kind of I grab his arm and start shaking him down. Bonus points.
Points, good.
We got the bonus points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help Lorn to his feet so he can better like do a fucking daisy chain dance with.
I like my body starts coming up like it's it feels revitalized by like holy psychic mind, and like holy points, and it's like I'm like raising my hands like I was cured by the saying of bonus points.
Wait, we shall begin. And with a wave of her mechadendrites, the sort of planetary orbs that have been floating on this raised plinth in the center of the strategium all blink out, and instead they're replaced with like this scrolling line of text, like a Word document floating in the air made of green hololithic light. And you can see each of your names underscored under, ambassadorial group, and it's all of your names, and then there's a total point, and Catcher Van Nord looks at it and says, well, let us find out what you've done. First of all, have you earned planetary support?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
totally.
I love it.
What form of planetary support have you acquired?
Well,
More
I-
chefs.
Hey,
And
everyone,
more
huddle,
fighters.
huddle, team huddle, team huddle,
Yes,
team huddle, everybody.
Yes, of course. The Codex Familiaris is quite clear on the rules of the team huddle as set down by the Primark.
Whatever. All right. I assume everyone gets in a huddle in a ton of form.
Yes. The camera cuts to being on the floor looking up at all of your heads.
All right, guys. I don't know what the fuck was on that planet.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to
we-
refresh my memory.
Yeah, I don't think there's any planetary support. We got the people of of government, and one of them's right here, so we could technically say that this person is a representative, and possibly tell that person that they're leading the planet. But at the same time, we didn't even fucking find out who the fuck rules the planet. I don't think anyone does.
I got an idea. I have
Okay.
idea.
What's your idea?
Okay. Well, we were able to usurp the rebellious government of the planet that had usurped itself, yes. Which means that the planet, for a time, was no longer an imperial planet. Which means that by deposing them and allowing the Rattlings to rule once more over the disgusting green world, we have conquered an entire planet for the Imperium by ourselves.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes.
So all of the resources are theirs. And,
Yes.
and even with the fires, which were started by Fuckaby, don't remember, it was his fault, we have to bring that up. They could use that to repurpose the world in any way, to a horrible agri world or a beautiful planet of black buildings and smog and pollution.
Yeah, all we
It's
have to
brilliant.
say is that we just need to plant a government official of our choosing in there, and then the entire planet is ours.
Yes, and they can do it by going to that horrible, disgusting town with that mayor I almost ripped into chicken strips. It'll be great.
Okay, Captain Zedek and Reeb, are you in agreement of this plan?
I'd say yes, but we do need to remind you, gentlemen, we do still have 2 individuals of whom were part of the original group that they had. I still have the femur of the very legged one. But we also have one awaiting a tribunal and one who is still in very serious critical condition. We should bring that up.
Yeah, I'll let you
think
bring
we
that up.
should too. They named a holiday after me. I think the excuse that we we essentially brought a planet back into the Imperial fold is a really good idea.
Oh,
I'll totally buy it.
And I have another idea.
Oh, no.
So, say, for instance, they don't have any rulership. Well, we do have one surviving member of the council that we're not about to throw into a pit of boiling hot lava. We have the Tech Priestess. If we reassert her as planetary governess, we have everything. All of the points.
That's as soon as we can get her out. Let's deal with that one later. Let's not include it into the current plans. But Captain Zedek, do you want to? No, I conk brain. Like, now,
Current plan A.
Zedek, are you good to present this plan?
Yes, I'm 100% on board. Worst case scenario, we put the fat mayor back in charge. Surely things will not go to shit again.
You first, Captain. I will discuss the matters of 2 prisoners. One prisoner.
I'll let you 2 take care of it.
Please do. I want the Minister of Science to pay for what she did.
Okay. All right, everyone. All right, on 3. All right, team. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's go. All right, and we break. And we come out.
And she looks. She's got this like the billboard has now been updated with a line that simply reads earned planetary support Fartham 4.
So, Lady Katya, we have not just acquired the necessary firepower for the crusade. We have done much more than that.
What firepower have you acquired?
We have really brought into the fold the entirety of Fartham 4's population. As we'd soon discovered upon landing there that insurrectionist forces had taken up shop and deposed the local government, installing themselves the head and thus seceding from the Imperium away from the Emperor's guiding light. We have since deposed these insurgents and radicals and taken one of them prisoner, thus restoring order to the fold of Fartham 4. The planet is now firmly in the custody of the Imperium once more.
Good. Oh, well, let us see. And there's like these numbers start spinning beside, and after a few moments, they end with 40,000 points.
Whoa!
Yes, that is far more than 6.
Yes.
Her mechadendrites
40,000.
then like go up Vanna White style to another line, and text appears: discovered and resolved the prior embassy. Well, what do you have here?
So, in regards to the prior embassy of individuals, of which there were 4, as I recall correct. Yes?
Yes.
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 Well, it turns out that the first of their group, the tech priestess, she had been more or less put out of action by their actions. The 3 remaining, the Lord of the the Chirurgeon, the Catechin, and the Confessor were all, well, they were all convinced that they could take control of the populace. Now, I'm not entirely sure from whence this notion of glory came, though I do indeed have my assumptions, Mr. Fuckaby. But we did manage to capture one of the offending individuals alive, the Chirurgeon, or as she now refers to herself, and indeed refuses to divulge her name to us, the Lord of Science.
I see. Well, I shall have to consider. Let us see. And she raises her mechadendrites up, and suddenly there's like this scrolling again of numbers. 20,000 points.
Hooray!
Yes!
We are able to surrender her over to you for a tribunal, as she is very, very guilty of many things. There are some things for which she is not guilty, but most of it is guilty. Very guilty, in fact. Very, very guilty, and I surrender her to whatever inquisitorial needs that need to follow our fleet here. However, we did manage to what is the opposite? Zedek, Braine, what is the inverse of incapacitate? Recapacitate?
Capacitate, I think.
We
Close enough.
She is in critical condition, but is likely to make a recovery. And she is currently stationed aboard our ship, and we are attempting to get her back into operational order, so we may again get more information as to what happened.
Then I shall trust you with holding on to these individuals for now. My vessel, the Magnamorum Victorium, will be very close by on your next assignment. I intend to meet up with you in just a few weeks' time after I provide you your next mission, so I will allow you to keep them on board your vessel, rather than waste time with any transferences at this point.
Lacking a brig, eh?
No comment. But what I will say is, let us see the results. And so you have now these, like, your points have lined up. And what you see is your emissary score, which is now sitting at a brisk 60,000 points. However, underneath that, you see another team headed up by one Slebergo de Fuckerby 24, which is currently sitting at 75,000 points.
I raise my hand.
Madam?
Yes, servant of the machine gods.
Yes, I noticed a small error. It appears as though this other team has more points than us.
Ah, yes. Well, that is a problem, but and then she turns, and once again her eyes go wide with avarice as she gazes upon the half-squatted group of ratlings. Oh, we forgot about those. My cooks. Yes. I, as Minister Moderat, am allowed a slight variance of excess points that I may grant. Again, it should not be a determining factor in any sort of the grand scheme of what we are doing. However, I believe, based on the personal request that you have assisted me with, it only seems natural that I can grant you a few, as I had promised, bonus points. Thus, based off the Great Mission's prime diagram and my own, Emperor tasked role as arbiter, not to interfere too directly in terms of the point acquisition with these bonus points, believe that based off of this acquisition, the best option would be a bonus of 39,000 points.
Yes! Yes!
At 99,000 points.
Oh God, what a rush!
thrill.
Yes, jangling the keys.
Yes, Fuckabee. He's unwary. Fuckabee.
Aye.
Well then, with that, and she waves her mechadendrite and the billboard disappears. Are we ready to hear about your next assignment?
Of course.
Yes.
There's more?
Give me the task.
Well, this was simply recounting your prior assignment, Lorn. Now there is a new mission you must undertake for this crusade of the primarks.
Shit. All right.
As you may have heard, and she waves a hand that brings up this hololith of the galactic plane. The crusade is making its way towards the eastern section known as the Ghoul Stars. One of the primarchs has demanded an immediate reroute of our resources to that region, and we are making due haste there. However, along the way, there are certain elements that the primarchs wish us to be aware of and to make contact with. One of these worlds, and one of her mechadendrites moves up and taps a small dot on the plane of the galactic, which causes it to blow up into a star system. One of these planets right here is Skargeris Prime. As you can see, it is an old world that was first liberated during the days of the Great Crusade. Now, due to some form of error, perhaps clerical, on the parts of the Adeptus Administratum, it appears the planet has failed to pay its tithes over the past 10,000 years. In fact, much of the planet has been forgotten of, and the only reason we know it, and it has come through to my desk, is that one of the primarchs, blessed be those children of the Emperor, has reminded us of its presence and its conquest in those days of the Great Crusade. Thus, Skargeris Prime here is now a bustling, resource-rich hive world with several nearby planets noted as being suitable sites for mining and agri-worlds.
Go on.
I raise my hand.
Yes, servant of the machine god.
Have you met these primarchs?
Oh, not personally. No. That comes through the great chain of command.
Ah, is it true that they are all 12 feet tall and made out of metal?
What?
They shoot lightning out of their eyeballs and can do math without even thinking about it.
What?
Braine, they're flesh and blood. I don't think they're a TI-84.
No,
How do you
they
know?
have
You've never
great-
seen one.
They have great wings of metal and float through the air, shooting lightning at people who don't take care of their machines. That is
Only
what
a
they told
lord,
us on
only a
Lemuria.
lord quadrumvirate is honored and blessed enough to speak to the Holy Primarchs, and then they disseminate that information down to the Minister Magistratus, who then devolves it down to me, a humble servant.
Is it possible to become one of these lords quadratic?
The Lord Quadrumvirate is raised based on one's score. And she once again points to where the billboard was, and it briefly pops into light. I would say you are well on your way.
Once the Primarchs know the name of Lemuria, much glory will come to me. We will get these points tell us of the world.
The number of points that are required are 999,999,999.
That
Like,
sounds
Easily
easy.
achievable.
That's
Easily
easy.
achievable. We got this.
A few more side quests will be there in no time.
Just keep saving your bits, folks.
How much effort it took for us to get to this particular quotient? Why am I the only one who sees how much effort this is going to be? This is going to be a huge pain in the...
Well, you see, we are servants of the Emperor, and our entire life is going to be dedicated to this crusade, so I suggest we get to it at some point. Also, did we want to bring up the issue with the mind manipulation of the population?
Did we even record what happened with that?
We do have that Vox recording. Wink.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
yes.
Yes. Not to take away from these Ghoul Star adventures that we will happily go upon, but you might be interested to know that Defucker caused everything bad that happened on the planet. And then did nothing wrong because he is a stupid man.
I agree. Defucker is a terrible person who lives up to his name.
Did bring in many resources and indentured rattling servants to the crusade. I will have to review this.
Yeah,
And
He made them eat each other.
And he only did it after we did everything hard.
Well,
Yeah,
I will take a look into this in what time I have allocated. But for now, do not concern yourself with the actions of other embassies. No, you must take to the stars on a mission that is all your own now. There will be no other embassy involved in this important task.
Excellent. And once we get large enough, we can eat the other emissaries and gain their points.
That's
I
not
don't-
how that works.
Yeah, that's
What?
not how that
Anyway,
works.
That's, right.
I don't
Anyway,
understand.
what is our next mission?
As I said, Skargeris Prime is this world.
Aye.
You will travel there, and once you arrive, you will establish relations with the leading nobles. They have already received a slight communication that a more formal embassy will be arriving. Once there, you will establish relations with these nobles, and then you will gauge an appropriate tithe based off of the 10,000 years of back taxes that they owe. However, what choice you make will be important. For the larger tithe you can extract from the world, and her mechadendrites suddenly form into a fist somehow before letting go and becoming tentacles, the more points you will obtain. However, should you squeeze too much and the planet rebels against us, you will be awarded 0 points. And may the Emperor have mercy on your soul.
We cannot allow this to happen.
Now, you will arrive, and you will have a few days' time, I'm sure, perhaps even a week or two, to establish these relations and make your decision on the fate of this world and their tithes. After that point, the Magnamorum Victorium and myself will translate into system, where we will meet with you, and I will deploy more standard agents on board my vessel to complete the formal transition of power.
Well, of course. Making contact with a long-lost settlement of the Imperium of Man. And you said we would be punished if we failed to get them on our side after 10,000 years, ma'am?
They have indicated they are devout servants of the Imperium, though the point of contention now is the tithe of which they owe us. From their conquest in the days of the Great Crusade, that world agreed to pay the Imperium for its protection, and so we must obtain that tithe multiplied over 10,000 years. But we are with understanding that since we have not contacted them in that time, perhaps a full 10,000 years of tithe would be too damning to the planet. Thus, I leave it to you to decide what the adequate recompense from the world would be.
Reeb's got a passive look on his face as though he is trying to think of exactly how to do the math on that one.
I shall leave it to your good judgment, but with that, she turns, once again staring at the rattlings. It's dinner time for me.
She is going to eat them.
And she
I
starts
hope
to
he's not
walk
going to
off.
eat them.
Come now, little ones. I am eager for you to meet the kitchen.
Just put it all in context. Just gonna throw them all in a pot.
Oh God.
Oh, in that case, it's good we brought all of them and not just Uncle Hedge.
It's a much more filling meal, I suppose. Yeah, and with that, like Katja Van Nord departs, taking the small ratlings that you have brought with her.
Can I, really quick, can I bump one of them as they're leaving with Katja Van Nord?
One of the ratlings?
Yeah. I'm trying to get his attention.
Yeah, do you want it to be a cousin Mej even?
Whichever one she's not looking at.
Yeah, she's not looking at any of them. She's kind of expecting them to follow in her wake, so they're all kind of getting their stuff. But cousin Mej is sort of the one that's closest as he's packing up his bag.
Okay, my friend. Keep an eye out for me, and if you need to call for assistance, please, by all means, use this frequency. Can I give him the frequency of the comms to our ship?
What's a frequency?
Well, it's a funny little number on the back of this card here that you can input, and you can talk to us anywhere in the galaxy. I'm pretty sure that's how that works anyway.
Do I just say the number into the air and it lets me talk to you?
No, you have to go up to the machine. Can I explain? Can I do a scholar? What would I do to explain this to him?
I don't know. A fellowship or a scholar test. Sure, one of the two.
All right, I'll do a scholar because that's way higher.
Yeah, that's fair. Use hand puppets.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a glory out of it.
7 and a glory.
We are capped on glory, by the way.
Oh, good.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Okay.
If anything particularly unpleasant happens, please do let us know at the earliest convenience. Thank you.
All right.
I'll go along now.
Come on, gang. And he turns and all of the ratlings start following Katja away.
I have a bad feeling about that.
I don't feel anything. Not anymore.
I know you don't.
Victory.
I know. It's you don't feel... Captain!
Yes, Reeb.
Shall we make our way back to the debt collector so we may begin on our little operation?
I think we should. I'm terrified of what we may have to do with these nobles, and I fear that it involves getting you fitted for suits.
Suit? What is this suit?
And so with what is this suit, we cut ahead a few days. Travel through the warp. During this time, the debt collector is making its way with all due haste towards Skargeris Prime. All of you have had some time on the ship. Very, very quick summary. We'll just go through everyone real quick. We'll start with Braine. What have you been doing with your probably couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks on the debt collector at this point?
I have been frantically fixing everything on the debt collector.
Okay.
And then I've been going into areas to where the tech priestess has done her repairs.
Mm-hmm.
And have I been able to find just anything, even slightly wrong, even slightly inefficient, like even a 0.100 or 0.0001% lack of efficiency in that area of the ship?
Give me a tech test.
By the way. Not our debilitated one, but Gamu.
Yeah.
Gamu.
Imagine fucking Braine is so fucking petty. He critiques the work of a comatose tech priest.
Yeah.
Well, that is 6
That's
successes from Braine's constant skittering over the ship.
Yeah, Braine, you're able to find that everything that is like in everything that's working or within working parameters is exact, but anything that's not already has the equivalent of a space help desk ticket lodged to Captain Zedek on it. So every time you go to find like, aha, this is out by 0.1 microns, there's a report to Captain Zedek already waiting for it.
So as I'm doing this, I'm fixing a lot of these. I'm probably not going to get to everything, but I'm going to the section that is pretty much mathematically perfect every so often, like at least once a day, finding something, breaking it, And then I'm going to write a ticket. It seems as though this is not very operational. Is this Brian workmanship? It looks like it.
You're
Tech
bitter.
Priest Braine. And I'm going to put a ticket there. And I'm going to start sending her a list.
Okay.
I would like to point out that for a brief moment, Captain Zedek would have sent Gamu a comm back saying, "See the problems, just fix themselves." And then several dozen more tickets continue to roll in, realizing the problems have not fixed themselves, but instead of multiplied.
Now, before chat and the comments gets to me, I also have to ask, are you still murdering people casually during this?
I mean, it's kind of like I have less time for it now. I used to be able to do it like every day. Now I've kind of taken up a part-time job, but occasionally I will go into the lower decks and find those what have upset my eyes.
It's just a little
and bring it to
murdering on the
judgment.
side. Nothing major.
Yeah, I mean,
not,
like occasionally,
It's a simple chaos.
You're
Yeah,
not.
you want to get burned out on it.
Yeah.
You don't murder competitively anymore. You just kind of do it on the side to keep your skills sharp.
Sometimes I just maim.
Casual hunting. All right,
Yeah,
Reeb,
just
what are you doing with your time?
Reeb has instructed some of the unoccupied menials to gather up as many of the corpses of the critters we killed in the septic tank and bring them to the surgery ward, a good distance away from the tech priestess, so I don't accidentally do something stupid.
Okay.
Like, yes, I cross-contaminate with the ruptured organs of these dead sewer creatures, and I go touch the tech priestess accidentally. Oh no, she's got sepsis. Oh, whoops.
Okay.
I'm doing that because I want to autopsy every single critter that we slew, so I can see if we can find anything useful in them. Mainly also just because Reeb is like, I've never seen these things before. I wonder what they look like if I flay them open.
Yeah, sure. I like this. Nothing can go wrong here. Okay, so there's two types of creatures. There's the grubs and the mites. So which one did you want your first one to be for?
I'm going to start with the grubs because they have softer skin, and Reeb likes how they split open when he catches into them with the mono knife.
Yeah, so you like are dissecting these grubs and finding their internal anatomy makes no sense. Like, you're finding organs that don't do anything. You're finding tumorous growths that actually grow bigger once you cut them open. Like, the logic is very, very, very broken with these things as you interact with them.
I mean, he's not looking for logic. He's looking for fascination. It's like he's like at one of those science centers for kids where you just get to poke, and there's a whole bunch of crap that just keeps happening all around you. It's like, ooh, this makes a noise. That makes a noise. This is science. That's a science. This is a funny little horn that goes honk when you squeeze it. And he's basically doing that to every single organ to see what they do.
I love it. Will you give me a second check for the mites?
Time to break out the crab claw cracker.
Crab claw. Let's see. What did you get there? Oh, that's a 5. 5 is going to get you about the same. These are highly corrupted, probably from some sort of radioactive basis. Maybe there's some kind of mutation going on that you can't pinpoint as to what's going on. The closest thing you can probably guess is some sort of radiation.
Well, if I have learned that there is a radiation issue, I would like to take that some time as I learn that to forward that to Braine so that I can let him know that there is a radiation leak in the septic tanks.
Perfect. And
he can go into the toilet and if he can fix the fuel rod problem in the toilet.
Dear Tech Priestess Gamu, there is a radiation leak in the toilet.
Could you while you're doing all of this, Reeb, can you give me a conviction test?
Conviction test. I think that is not a first, but it's not done often. Let me do that.
It's not done very often.
All right. That is literally as high as I can roll.
That's perfect. Okay. You suffered no ill effects from doing a whole bunch of research on these things, which is good.
It was useless, but as Reeb's stuffing all the corpses into the incinerator, he's like, well, that was fun.
And you're very more about this stuff. And please, if ever not that something else would ever come of this in the future, but if something ever were related to this type of thing, please call me out and be like, Thurston, I did research on these things. It might come up in the future.
I did research on these things. They're useless.
Yeah. Lorn, what are you doing during your time? Are you continuing the investigation?
I'm continuing the investigation of just finding drops of blood, taking on. This is mixed with oil. He was stabbed by a well-oiled sword, and I'm like just rushing down the hallways, and I see Braine like fixing something, and like Braine.
Ah, yes.
What's wrong with that thing?
Oh, well, you see, I broke it because I hate Camus.
Oh, I see. I found this like test of blood and stuff. Can you analyze it and see whose oil this is?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. I watch intently.
This is mine.
Do you have any skills you would like to use as part of your test hunt?
Braine, what did you say?
This is mine.
Oh, okay, cool. Why is your oil mixed with that blood?
I don't know.
Ah, that's pretty fucking weird. Okay, thanks. And I continue on my hunt.
No question asked.
Do you have any skills you want to actually use as part of this hunt?
Psychic mastery.
You fucker. I like
Psychic
that.
mastery.
Yeah, give me psychic. Give me a sign of
I got
science.
3.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's not the barbarian response, but instead it's just psychic mastery. I psychic mastery and cast.
That's all I'm good at, man. I got like 1 defense and like no health. I have no skills. I just mine motherfuckers to death. I don't got anything.
Just remember from last episode when I allowed weapon skill to do tracking, and we all saw how well that turned out. Okay, perfect. Okay, so your psychic mastery is enough to have you detect those blood pools that you then found the gas mixed in and then brought to Braine's attention. So that is your the height of your expeditions during this. Finally, Captain Zedek, what have you been doing during this?
All the while, assuming we're actually going to have diplomatic relations with some nobility, I'm frantically looking through my wardrobe for anything I can use to put together suits for Braine and Lorn. Because I'm assuming they don't have any nice clothes at all. But I'm sure.
No, I've been wearing the same thing since I existed, so.
Yeah. So I'm futzing around with the closetoire, trying to find something, and it's just decrepit, dark depths. But all the while, the reports from Gambu coming in my personal quarters, being shredded by a server, which is then carried off to the incinerator. Never to really pay attention to those again.
Yeah, who needs that? Who needs that? That's just dumb stuff.
I'm practicing my dance steps, just trying to oh god, am I going to have to waltz? Am I going to have to tango? Am I going to have to do the Watusi? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm running back to Braine. Braine, I have a question. I forgot.
Yes?
If your oil is mixed with this blood, were you attacked by the killer? Tell me, are you okay? Your back's been fixing on things. I mean,
I'm fine. No, I will sate my bloodlust upon the chosen of Graia.
I kind of give him a look over. Like, are you leaking anywhere? Like any oil disappearing?
I should check. Am I? Oh my god!
You should check around. I mean, you have droplets of oil going everywhere. I mean, you might need to double check your stuff. And,
and as Lord is looking around, I assume some menial walks up and he's with a gun or something. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and I'm just like, cut off his head or something.
Wait. I see him look out, Braine, that might be the killer, and I molten beam him.
What's wrong with you?
These poor people.
Don't worry, I think that might be the killer. Oh, there's no evidence anymore. Oh, well.
That was close. You saved me, Lorn. Thank you.
You're quite well. Please be safe. There's some fucking weirdo around killing people. And I don't know who. And I just move off. Be safe.
Back to Captain Zedek. All right, Captain Zedek.
Sorry.
No, it's beautiful. Captain Zedek, would you like to give me an influence test in order to acquire some fancy garb for your fellow shipmates?
I would be happy to. Here you go.
Do it up.
There it is. Oh boy.
There's remember to say what your rolls were.
Yeah, a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 4 and a complication.
Yeah, all right. So let's see here. You are able to get some really, really nice clothing. However, your wealth score goes down by 1.
Oh no!
Zedek
Because
is
you
poor.
invest personal capital
Poor.
into this.
How do you feel being a peasant?
Broke.
All to buy all of you Chucklefucks better clothing. Way to go.
I had a really great image of you know the image of Lord Farquaad pointing and saying white. It's Gamu pointing at Zedek saying poor.
Damn. So we cut to close to the end of the journey, and as we reach this point, Captain Zedek, you have invited all of your fellow ambassadors to your personal suite where you're showing off their noble attire. And so what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to start with Reeb, and I'm just going to Reeb, what does your noble attire look like that Captain Zedek has acquired for you?
I'm gonna level with you. I'm surprised my current attire didn't work, but I suppose it's mine. Except it's literally what I had before, except the shoulders are puffier, and I've got a dicky around my neck, and it's got a bow tie on it. And maybe there's like a stuffed parrot on my shoulder, and I've got a bicorn. Who knows?
I like the stuffed parrot. Yeah, it's one of those like things you can slightly control animatronically. Yes.
Yeah, it's like up my sleeve, so I can like twist it and make the head move.
Yeah. And you see this, how do you react?
Well, wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I do love birds, especially stuffed ones. Let me take a look at that. I'm going to inspect the stuffed bird on my
you go and start like looking at the bird and everything else. Lorn, what is your noble attire that Captain Zedek has acquired do you look like?
It's exactly the same as what I'm currently wearing, but I'm wearing a bow tie, but it's under my beard.
Aww.
Can your beard be wearing a bow tie?
Nope.
I love this.
It's under the beard. Exactly the same.
And how does Lorn react to seeing this?
Lorn react to seeing like my bow tie? I'm confused. Like what?
How does he react to seeing this this uniform laid out in front of him that Captain Zedek has tirelessly gone to purchase and now is presented to him?
I was like, here's all your fancy clothes, Lorn. Is a fucking bow tie. I go, oh, okay. I just put it on under the beard. Like, do I look good? And I pose look in front of a mirror, try to like kind of get a lay of my new digs.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Bow tie under your beard.
Yeah.
Finally, Braine, what does your noble attire look like?
All right, so Braine has a turban like on top of his hood. So he looks like the world's like worst genie. And it's like he's like got some like weird like Mardi Gras beads and like glitter all over him. And then like
buy this stuff.
His actual clothes. This is probably the thing that actually cost Zedek weight of wealth. Is just like this like really nice like kind of like fucking vest that just has like solid gold bars glued to it all over. And it looks awful, and the glue is really cheap. But there's just like gold bars just kind of glued onto his very small vest and like the rest of his like metallic cuirass.
Good.
At this point, Zedek is just looking back at the numerous bottles of liquor that are by the trash servitor and wondering, yes, that is exactly why I made this stylistic choice. Also, I'm not versed in fashion. It's in the theater of the mind, honey.
What's Captain Zedek's noble attire? Is it just his regular clothing, or is it different?
The noble attire for Captain Zedek is a pretty standard two-piece suit under the greatcoat, very poorly concealing the power armor that I'm wearing. It looks okay from a distance, but as soon as you get up, you realize, oh, it's like a stuffed pig. You can see the power armor just bulging out.
Excellent.
Captain, we are translating out of the warp shortly.
Thank you, Ransom.
Navigator Gibbon reports that we will make a smooth translation into the system and be above Skargeris Prime shortly. I will have a shuttle ready to take you down to the capital.
Thank you very much, Ransom. We appreciate the update. I also have a question for you. How do we look? Do we look noble enough? Do you think we can pull this off?
And like his eyes keep going back to Braine.
I want to be like in his vision, like behind somebody, and I'm just looking at him, like slowly shaking my head. No, just nah. Don't do it.
Do not worry, my outfit is optimized for performance.
I have faith in the Emperor. Good day, sir. I have duties to attend to.
And he just walks off.
Way to bail, coward.
It is okay. He is just jealous of my cool turban.
If you don't like my fashion choices, you could go in the terrifying flesh cabinet and find a better choice of outfit.
You have a flesh cabinet? You should get rid of that.
No, it has all my clothes. I will not get rid of the closetoire. I love him dearly. I don't actually know. It's terrifying.
Oh, God.
Just kind of in the dark corner of the room is this.
The shadow over the closeter.
It's laughing slightly.
The low throne
compliance. Yeah, and with that, you manage to emerge from the warp over the planet of Skargeris Prime, which is a purplish white world that seems to be devoid of many oceans, and those few that you see seem to be like highly salinated to the point of almost looking like salt flats. And there's this constant smog over sections of the world from the vast hive cities that dot its surface.
What a quaint little world.
They don't even have any oceans.
I thought you would like that.
No, Lemuria is a city of great industry built beneath the waves. But I suppose it's better than green hell.
Oh, green is a good color. Jungles are great colors for planets.
Please board the Arvus lighter.
Oh, bloody fine.
Oh, right. We have to get a new one since we lost one in the previous encounter. Lucky for you. Lucky for you. Yeah, I think we do. Do we?
It would be pretty bad.
Tech Priest Gamu 4224
I could have
dispatch. Okay.
Well, we won't have to be listening to that.
Give me an attack roll.
Sure.
Standard declaration. I kill him.
Damn. I narratively declare I win PvP, fucker.
That's right.
He burns all of our glory.
Jesus. Okay. You managed to like immediately decapitate this poor servitor with a 7 to hit. Like your power sword's just gonna cleave through this. And like the last thing that happens when its head rolls on the floor is it just lets out its identification. Strom 12B, and then it dies.
You fought well, friend.
He didn't fight at all.
Greetings, Captain Zedek. I am Servitor Yant 13, dispatched automatically from Tech Priest Gamu 4224 with an addended message saying I can do this all day. I can do this all day! I presume I am held back by the others.
I'm just going to karate chop him in the back of the head.
Like Venusian Aikido style and just knock him down.
I like the imagine that she just Gavin just has like our like list of patrons and there's a button near each one to deploy. So to deploy, it's like, yeah, and tell that little Skitari fucker to fuck off and boop, and then it deploys from a wall. And it's just kind of like, hello, shitface, and then dies.
Thanks to all our patrons for giving us these names for Gamu 4224 to use. I'll say narratively declaring a Venusian Aikido chop to the back of a Braine, which causes him to momentarily fall down long enough for you to get in the Arvus lighter, which takes off with Servitor Yant 13 piloting.
I'm mad because like now I'm stuck with the thought of Reeb leaning back and then doing judo chop.
Yes.
Hands probably a little sore for just like karate chopping a metal pillar.
And so we like kind of cut ahead just a little bit to Braine's systems rebooting after being judo chopped, and like we see it's clearly inside the back of the Arvis that is going through some atmosphere as everyone else is strapped in. We see outside there's like heavy cloud cover, and the servitor Yant 13 approaching Hive Zarkanin.
Well, I hope we survive this one. Let's just hope that no tomatoes or anything destroy us on the entrance thing. Keep on, you're doing great. You just keep on flying. Braine, please make sure this one doesn't try to kill us this time.
Lorn, I'm certain that even though it's cloudy, there is no chance of any meatballs flying at us.
Are you sure about that?
And with that, the cloud cover parts, and you're treated to this gray sky, and then from down below, you see a second layer of clouds farther down from where you are. That's like this grayish black smog that seems to rise out of almost like dark crimson industry at the base of what can only be described as a alabaster spire that pierces the heavens. And as you approach this immense hive spire, each of you can see that it has this like creamy texture to it, and the way that the sunlight piercing the clouds hits it, it has like this almost like glistening moist appearance as you get closer and closer.
It's just like home.
Can I do like a check to see what? Because I mean, we've already passed through the clouds.
Yeah.
Is the general atmosphere under the clouds basically the same as what we saw coming down? It's like purple and hazy, a purple haze, if you will.
You can see that the ground space is primarily like a dull purplish color, but the buildings of industry are all red. The spire is this white, and you can tell that like it looks almost like cratered landscape from what little patches of the actual surface you can see.
Can I do a scholar to like check our systems to see why the fuck this planet is purple?
Yeah, scholar seems appropriate.
Hey, Braine.
Everyone,
Why do you think this place is purple?
I think it is purple on account of all of the purple people on it, maybe.
Okay, so with your check of 5, Reeb, what you would know is that this looks like a planet that has just gobbled up its natural resources. Like it has sucked everything out of the soil. It is like the fact that the lakes and seas are all and oceans are all just salt now, and the fact that the ground itself looks almost cratered compared to the reports you had that indicated that this was a lush and fertile world.
Reeb's gonna lean over to Zedek. Captain, I believe I have formulated a way we are to get a tithe, because after all, what good are cooks for an entire station without a little bit of salt?
That's not a bad idea.
Purple salt.
I like the way you smart.
Approaching landing position. And you can see now that you've reached very close to this white spire, and again the sunlight kind of hits it on the side, and it seems almost like it's moving in some way. Like the outer texture of this spire, especially at its highest points, undulates slightly, and the feeling quickly passes as you hit this landing pad that's marked off and made of more of a traditional ceramite compound with little markings on it in yellow script that allow the Arvis to land down. And as you see this land down, there's an entourage that awaits you.
Oh, not again.
All right, this time, let's not cause them to have a heart attack.
I slowly put away the pistol I was going to shoot.
Please do not.
We have landed.
Duty.
Opening rear hatch.
Reeb is pointing at Braine. You keep that thing sheathed or we're going to have trouble.
I only take it out sometimes, I promise.
Sometimes it's fine. All the time is not.
Just don't say
Let
this
me do
stuff
the
in
talking this
public.
time.
I begin to walk down the ramp.
I will quickly try to put myself in front of Lorn to be the first ones to meet.
we started racing. I think I'm like,
No.
But then I
Lorn,
let you win.
Please stop.
We're just power walking. It's like, I'm gonna win. I get
You're
past you on the ramp, and then I
all the
let
while,
you
these
go.
dignitaries are just thinking, man, these are really fitness-minded ambassadors.
Yeah, and so you come out onto the landing platform, and immediately you hear this snap of attention as you see these soldiers that are all in like impressive environment suits, holding these intricate rifles, and they look almost like deep sea diving suits formed into armor, and they all come to attention. They're sort of alabaster and golden armor glistening in the sun, and behind them are these two figures that have veils over their faces, also in sort of this deep white, though they have black embellishments, and they stand farther to the back. And then at the front of this military host, there is this like gaggle of various dignitaries, all in similarly like white and yellow and black embellished attire. And one of them, she steps forwards to greet you, and I'm just going to show this art to you here. Whoa, bam!
I got really
and
upset for a moment there, Sten, because you described the environment suits, and I'm like, did we forget that this was there? Were we supposed to wear an environment suit?
No, the atmosphere here is quite breathable and such. But as this figure approaches, you see that all of the sort of noble dignitaries have these immense sacks on their back, and these sacks just like have the consistency of like very light plastic, and inside you see like dark crimson liquid with bubbles slightly sloshing around, and you can see tendrils from these this immense, like, I guess you could say, bloody backpack that snake into the skin of this woman at regular points on her body as she approaches and sort of waves her hands out in greetings.
Thanks, Alpha.
I elbow Zedek. You're on.
Oh, yes. Well, hello, allow me to make my acquaintance. We are representing the Officio Ambassadorium. I am Captain Zedek of the Debt Collector. It's a pleasure and an honor to meet you, Lady.
Why, hello there. My name is Amalia Rubania, and I'm so gracious to receive those of you from the Slimporium of the Big Slimping.
I do.
Oh no, space rednecks.
An honor to meet you, Lady Rubania.
It has been some time since we have seen some come from the service of the Great Big Slimping to our world.
Great big slim pig.
The Big Slim Pig. Okay. Yes, it has been a number of millenniums since an Imperial has set foot here from the wider Imperium. And we...
Yes, the Slimporium has sent its ambassadors, and I see even with you, you have one from the rowboat Machinis.
The what?
The rowboat Mankinis, and she takes her arms and sort of pushes them in the direction of Braine.
Hello, I am of the Adeptus Mechanicus of Forge World Lemuria, the greatest Forge World.
Oh, I see that much has changed in the Slimporium.
Yes, a lot has changed in the last 10,000 millennium. We can tell your world is bustling with culture, and we would be delighted to reacquaint you with the wider Imperial flavor.
Oh, of course. We are so glad that you've come from the Slimporium of the Great Big Slimping. We have prepared a feast, we have.
Can I, GM?
Yes.
I know I keep doing this. Can I
Yes,
please roll a
Reeb.
Medicae to see what the fuck is wrong with her back?
I like to assume that Reeb's silence is just intense study of this. Yeah, absolutely. Give me a Medicae check.
I'm distracting her with the parrot on my shoulder while I'm trying to look at the giant
Absolutely.
pump.
Absolutely.
Oh, terrific.
And you.
What'd
So
you
what
get?
roll did you get?
I got
Oh.
me a complication.
Okay. Okay.
What number? Remember to say your number and what you got and all
Oh,
that.
yeah,
But yeah, you got a
pardon me.
5 and a complication.
5 and a complication.
Okay, so you're gonna have a general understanding, but I think the complication will be probably some kind of social faux pas that you perform. Here.
Can I want to suggest something. Since I was
Okay.
using the parrot to distract her,
Yes.
does she think that the parrot is me?
What?
I did a good job puppeteering the parrot that she doesn't really register Reeb as Reeb, but rather the parrot as Reeb.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's go with that. I like that too. So I'll tell you, you're like identifying this, and what you gather from the equipment on her back is it's some kind of like blood filtration system. Like it's just taking all of the blood out of her system and storing it on her back. Excuse me. And it's basically filtering out any of. I'm sneezing. It's filtering out any of like the particularly, I guess like useless bits in her body as well. But it seems to be taking out a lot of blood, like keeping it so that she's just not having the blood she should have in her body.
What? All right. Well, that's a problem for the future, me.
So you're saying if you punch her in the back, you can literally punch out all her blood.
Don't. I beg you.
I'm not going to. I'm just.
So what
I'm
you say?
I'm positing.
And
a
as you're
hypothetical.
watching this, Reeb, you just say, "Wow, aren't you the cutest little one?" As this mass of blood sloshes towards you, and you're not even looking at this woman, Amalthea Rubania. Instead, you're looking at this pack on her back, and as she kind of trundles towards you, you just are seeing the blood inside slosh and little like bubbles of movement happening. You're just so focused on that. You are so precious. Oh, do you have a name? And she starts stroking the parrot.
Do I have to make like a roll to get what's happening, or is Reeb kind of aware of it? Because I have an idea, but
You run with your idea. This is your complication.
Reeb's gonna like mime out of the corner of his mouth. Reeb Van Horn.
Give me a deception check.
Oh God.
Okay, I want to help him. I
Oh
want
my
to help.
God. Okay. You're
So-
not helping.
no.
You are not helping.
That's
I
what Zoran
want-
says just before he
The opposite of helping.
I want to cast Phantom Grip on the bird. And I want to try to help puppet it for him to where it can
Okay.
kind of like flap around a little bit more and kind of like even like leave his shoulder and be more animated. Like I'm like in the background, like whispering Gandalf style, whatever. And I'm making the bird as alive as possible to kind of help Reeb with his deception.
You want to go first with that? I think that
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Give me a check.
So,
Don't turn
I
my
want-
parrot into a
and
grenade.
just to make sure it happens, so we can use his glory. Guys, can I use 4 glory die with this?
Use them.
Oh, remember,
Go
you use the
ahead.
glory after you roll it. So roll it, then
That's-
decide. Yeah.
All right, Phantom Grip.
Yep.
Okay, I still want to use 4 to make it an absolute success for everyone.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then do. All right, down 4. And
Okay,
I think
roll it
just,
up.
yeah, and I will roll the additional 4. Well, I'm going to do this weird 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to be a
Wow, one extra.
yes, and just 1 extra. So
Okay,
I got
so
a 5
5.
total, which
Okay.
for the thing that I usually need, the difficulty number, I needed a 4, so I succeed.
Yeah. So how much of a bonus is that given me, GM?
Okay. So Real quick, I'm just gotta do one other thing here. Rolling dice. Okay, cool.
That's a complication.
So no, yeah. Luckily, this one doesn't complicate. But Lorn, as you're doing this, like you manage to pull it off and perform the psychic grip, but you also notice that there's something pushing against your mind as you're trying to do it. Like something is trying to prevent you from casting. But I feel a resistance. There is something, some kind of denial of service attack happening. Reeb, give me your deception check, and I will give you a bonus 2 dice to it based on Lorn's chicanery.
Add 2 dice to my deception roll.
Yep.
Direct denial of sorcery.
Peanut.
Yep.
For goodness sake.
So you're for deception. Chat just gave us a whole bunch of glory, so we're back up at full. So if you want to spend some of that.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I don't think 3 is going to be a sufficient roll, so I'm going to
do 5.
5?
Increase your chances. Sure? I'm okay with you doing 5.
All right,
cash in.
This is a really important bird.
This is really important that I convince this woman that I am a parrot.
Well, yeah.
This is of dire importance, in fact.
Roll it. Do it up.
You're gonna have to roll.
Holy shit.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So a total of 8.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, this is such a majestic beast. Have they been making these in the Emporium?
Yes.
I'm like mimicking the entire time, perfectly in sync with the talking beak.
Look at you, little one. You talk like a regular Jurgman does. I'm hesitant to ask, but as this is all going on, Braine, what are you doing?
How has Reeb become a parrot?
Oh, it worked on him too good.
How has this happened?
Are you taking any note of the equipment?
Yes, I am actually. I'm quickly coming out of my fucking trance as I look at the bird. I will take note of this diving equipment, and this looks somewhat similar to some of the things on my home world. Might I roll tech to learn more about this?
You absolutely may.
Yes, cool.
Yes.
Right, so taking out my combi tool, I'm analyzing what I see before my eyes, and oh god.
Well, would you like to wrath that?
I will be wrathing that.
Okay. We also have 4 glory now, so.
Yeah, you can toss some glory in there if you want.
Yeah.
You might need. It's going to be a DN5, so you're going to need 1 more success to.
Okay.
You want to spend 3 glory for it?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to spend 4 because I think this is more important than stupid.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
More than stupid.
Damn.
All right.
You got 1,
nice.
2, 3. Yeah, you got all 4 of them.
Yeah,
so
you're actually able to identify this. The weapons that they're using are a very old, tried and tested and true variant of las rifle. They are at least the majority stock here. They look like a Calibrax 5-1 pattern las rifle, which is something that dates back to the age of the Great Crusade.
Oh, these are ancient rifles I see before me.
And the armor is it looks very diving-esque, but you recognize it now as a type of carapace armor that generally went by the title of solar pattern void armor. That was meant for humans to fight in basically any environment. This was back when the Astra Militarum was furnished with good gear.
Oh, this is incredible. Miss Rubiania.
Why, yes.
I cannot help but notice that you have the utmost skill in your creative gear. It seems as though your forces are prepared to face combat in any environment.
Well, when we were blessed back long ago, when the Golem Kings descended from the skyline and liberated our world, they granted us the gifts of the Great Big Slempig.
And you can still produce them after so long?
We have many relics from ages past. We produce very few of these great marvels. Many of them are simply the relics of our esteemed marble compact. But
Lorn
but
raises
I
a hand.
like there's a pause and she kind of ignores you and carries on. But I assure you that we are able to create when we need to. We are not quite as devout as you of the rowboat machinis.
We of the machinis are quite interested in your capacity to create these objects.
Well, enough business talk. We must go and eat. She says, and like, come now. And she turns her back, the big like blood pack sloshing. Come, we have such good delectables for you to partake in.
I'm quite hungry, Braine. Let's discuss all this over dinner.
Well, okay, but we're going to talk it during dinner. We need to talk about this. This is
Maybe.
no. I grab Zedek. No maybes.
And you like walk through the line of these immensely armored figures, and then Lorn, as you kind of take up the back, you get this like slight pressure on your head as you pass the two figures with the white veils over their faces. And their heads sort of just turn and watch you as you pass by them. You can tell they are looking at you.
I give them like I see you eye thing, like I point at my eyes, look at their non-existent seeing eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If this planet wasn't Alabama, it'd be really cool.
Damn. Oh, Jesus.
It's not Alabama, it's Alabaster.
All right, as we move on.
Yeah, so you carry on inside and you go through like massive chambers filled with gold and chairs that are made of the finest silks. And as you're carrying on through, you see more of these marble walls and white like stone. And some of it seems to have that undulating appearance to it, like shining under any light source. And Amalthea leads you, eventually bringing you to a great dining hall where she waves her hands. Sit. She kind of beckons you all to sit down.
I will sit.
I will sit down at the table.
I will uncharacteristically sit next to Braine.
So about this solar pattern void armor, I'd very much like to...
Braine. Here in Havzarkanan, we do not discuss business before we enjoy some pleasure. Now, I will have the first meals come out, and like the servitors begin to walk out. They're gold-clad servitors with trays. Their skin, not the gray standard you've seen of servitors before, but instead this pale white skin. And as they sort of enter in, they drop trays onto the table, and it's a variety of different foods. You see white rices, you see white sauces in saucepans, you see pastas of white. Every food type that is being dropped off is white.
Oh no, they follow the zone theory.
White.
White, please eat.
Yeah.
While all the food certainly looks delectable, is there a reason it's so monochrome?
Well, whatever do you mean?
Well, as someone who has lived the breadth of their life in the wider Imperium, typically we're used to food that is, well, multivariate in color, but we are surprised, but only pleasantly so, that the food is so white.
We pay homage to the golem kings from beyond the skyline who came to our world when they of the blood wolves descended on this world and brought us the word of the great big Slempig.
I just lean
Okay, I
over.
lost.
I'll lean over Reeb going, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, this
anymore.
is some great rice, Pi says, putting it in a spoon and pretending to eat it.
You just hear kink, kink,
Yeah.
kink.
It's like it's the same spoonful. He just takes it out, puts it back in, takes it out, puts it back in.
Hey,
Waits for her to look away, throws it on the ground.
Yes. GM answering.
Can I roll a Medicae to see why the pasta is so fucking white?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, can I do it on something that's actually supposed to be like meat that's white instead of the pasta? I did that mainly as a joke.
Yeah,
It does-
you can just analyze the food here. Absolutely.
do it very easily. Distract.
Oh, you got a glory on that one.
You even get a glory point from this because as you start analyzing, you realize that this is just excessively well cultivated food. Like they intentionally grow all of this stuff. They only eat white foodstuffs here.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh,
Lauren goes, what the hell? And I immediately take a spoonful of some meat and eat it.
Can I quickly grab Lorn's hand and just whisper to him, Lorn, GMOs.
I look him dead in the face and still angrily going,
There's a slightly rotund man who's by Amalthea's side who has again one of these similar blood packs on his back, and he takes a look up as you're sort of investigating the food, Reeb. Well then, sir, you liking the food on this here planet?
Parrot time. Right, yes.
I'm still helping out, moving the bird. The bird's counting. I see what's hopping on the table. And I'm just still like, as I'm eating with one hand, the other hand is kind of like doing psychic bullshit, and just like, and just moving the parrot around.
Reeb's
I don't know
just
what's.
probing the food.
I'm just impressed at all of you folk. You look like you're strong servants of the Slimporium. It's been so long since we had some servants of the Slimporium come here. I even noticed that 2 of your number are equipped with Svorags of cut.
What?
Bird looks up
Well-
expectantly.
Well, that one points to Pie Braine, the rowboat machinis, and that one with the hair points to Captain Zedek. Both of them, I see at their hips when they walked in here, they got the Svorags of cut.
Sparrags of cut. I take out the power sword. You
Ah!
God damn it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, the Swarrags I've got. On my world, we call them power swords.
It looks like much has changed in the past years since the Slimporium blessed us with the Golden Kings.
Put it back in. Now, yes, and your planet, it is much more purple than we expected. It is beautiful, by the way. Lots of great big craters. Very good.
And Amalthea kind of why, yes, you see, what we have done is we've taken all the resources from the planet and put them in the hands of the people, namely us.
Valuable goal. You seem like very nice people.
I'm gonna.
Why, thank you. We try to provide the best hospitality we can.
Yes, and might I say that the accoutrements are exquisite, mon capitaine. And I'm like looking at Zedek's like etiquette book that I brought with me. Just, like, reading off
And it's
of it.
clearly called Etiquette by Captain Zedek.
No,
And
it's
has
called
him
no,
in
it's
that-
called Zedekit. I will spend my draft. I will spend that. Mark me down. It is
You
Zedekit.
want to spin a wrath to do do
Yes,
Yes,
I would. I would
please,
make a narrative
please.
declaration. Mark me down.
that? Okay, I make a narrative declaration with my wrath point to make it Zedek.
Okay,
It's my wrath die.
it's Zedekit, and it's clearly just you on the front in your heroic pose with your hands on your hips.
Written by me.
I got
It's
one
all-
better.
Okay, Reeb.
The salad fork in his hand, and then like the soup spoon in the other.
Yes. it's the standard picture we have of him with the arc pistol and the power sword. Just replace the two. Excellent. Get on that Photoshop. Okay. So yeah, you start like pulling it out and reading. I'm hoping that our food meets up to your standards. We are very unsure of how things are going in the Great Slimperum.
Oh, everything is great. It's so good. And
Are us Jurgman still the dominant species in the universe?
yes, except for all of the other ones, but we are bigger.
Well, that's good. That's what the great big Slimpig promised us.
Yes, the Omnisire and the Slimpig are in agreement.
I elbow Captain Zedek and I lean over. Right? Should we begin the negotiations at this point?
Yeah, at this point, most of you are finishing up your food.
Fucking white pasta.
I put my hand on Zedek's shoulder and I start to crunch.
Zedek, you must listen to me. These people...
Too tight.
Oh, sorry. And I put it right back on and I start crunching again. These people... Was that not... These people are sitting on a secret that could aid the quest for knowledge. The Omnisire, who has chosen you as one of his 2 champions on the ship, requires that knowledge. We must do everything we can to make sure their secrets are not lost.
I'm aware that they have very valuable technology, Braine.
Yes.
And we'll get to that. That could be part of the time.
That is
Please,
the most...
could you please stop breaking my clavicle?
Oh, I see that you finished your meal. Excellent, excellent. Now it is time for us to go. We will take you to your apartments where you may rest for the evening, and we will begin formal negotiations tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds so good. Before that, can I see where you produce the the solar pattern void armor?
Braine, not right now.
There must be business tomorrow. You must first enjoy our hospitality tonight. Come, some of our troops will escort you to your apartment.
I do declare that sounds like a spring chicken.
I say closing Zedek before putting it back into my
Closing Zedek. Yeah. And she turns and like the blood bag on her back sloshes a bit. And then some of those solar armored white alabaster soldiers come out and they motion for you to follow, and holding their las rifles, they walk you down a series of corridors to an elevator. The elevator hums to activation as you go inside it. The guards stay outside and they just sort of nod. It will take you to the apartment. And there's a second, and then elevator closes, stops, and it opens up into a hallway. And you can see that it's a maybe 10-foot wide hallway, and there's doors open to the right and the left. And through just exploring the immediate area, it seems you've been furnished with an entire floor on this spire that includes a small medical room with 3 beds on it, 2 offices, 2 joint communal sleeping rooms, a lavatory, and a large conference room as well.
The fuck?
Wow, they went all out, I guess.
I like these people, except for all the parts when they open their mouths and then I hate them. But I do like their culture of having nice things.
You know, Braine, I can't say I disagree with you.
This
For
is
once.
remarkably well furnished. I'm not used to this level of opulence. Where's all the hard edges? Where are the skulls?
It doesn't have to be all macabre and...
It's entirely
Dreary.
non-Gothic too. Now that you've got a much better look at their interior, they do not have that Gothic aesthetic.
Yes. I have seen rooms like this only once before, in the inner sanctums of the Forge World. It is pretty dope.
I haven't seen an apartment this nice since we were in the upper spires many years ago.
I'd like to point out that they decided to call this an apartment, but not a luxury suite for their esteemed guests. It seems they can't afford higher luxuries for people of our stature, but we will make do. Did they give us room keys? What is that noise?
You hear what sounds like the breaking of glass. Like you're all in this conference room, and you, from like the other side, you hear like what sounds like glass break.
What was that? I would like to
You
go
start hearing
investigate.
footsteps and like this dragging sound approaching.
I'm going to go look after where the source of this dragging noise is coming from.
Yeah, I'll be going with Braine.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Was that Reeb
Reeb is just looking around. He's just gonna mutter to himself.
and Zedek?
Quizda Highland did not prepare me.
I'm gonna follow along and see what's up.
Okay, so Reeb, you kind of stay back a little bit, and then the rest of you start advancing towards the noise. As you do so, you're quickly stopped as a group of figures stands right in the sort of stairs leading down into the conference room that you've found yourselves in. And we're going to switch to this scene real quick, but then we're going to take our first break of the evening as a trio of creatures, hunchbacked, like crimson-stained human-like figures with massive boils all over their bodies, look up at you, one of them holding what clearly is a spear with a syringe at the end, others holding like las guns, some of them just aped over with boils covering eyes, and they just sort of look at you with these wide eyes. And this is where we're going to take our first break.
It is
Before
at this
that, go
juncture
ahead.
that I would like to say thanks, Alpha.
Good.
As they're signing up to it, so someone like, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm like, Lorn points at those and goes, what the fuck are those? And I'm immediately casting something.
Oh, what are you casting?
Molten Beam.
Wait.
Oh,
Oh, we don't know if they're enemies. I'm going to try to take his hand down.
You literally see my hand come and you hear like, just some Iron Man. Just,
Lorn.
like,
These people could
Okay.
be bio freaks.
okay. I'm
Well,
like,
they could be
so I put it down, but
bio
only like slightly. Only slightly goes down, and I wait.
Yeah, and the group of them kind of like approaches up like towards you, getting fairly close. And yeah, you can see there's probably 4 of them in the immediate area, sort of 2 of them coming down the steps and then another 2 behind. And one of them with sort of beady eyes and holding a las gun in the front just sort of looks and goes, "Wait, you're here and you need to check your blood.
What?
What?
We need to check your blood.
No, you don't.
No.
We need to check your blood. Tim's gonna do it." And he points back to the guy holding the syringe stick that sort of thumps it on the ground. "That's the syringe of retrieval, and we're just gonna give you a little poke with it to make sure your blood's good, and then we'll be on our way."
Does anyone else have like a gun? Any of them?
Oh yeah, like 2 of them have las guns in the front.
It's like,
What
No.
pattern was that?
More standard variety, like a mass-produced pattern. Older, like still a like older type, but clearly like a mass-produced.
And hey, GM,
Mm-hmm.
can you guess what I'm going to ask?
Can you Medicae them?
Can I do a Medicae to see what the fuck their problem is?
Absolutely, you can give me a Medicae.
kind of
too.
Medicaid? What the fuck?
I want to Medicae Alpha's brain. Okay, yeah,
And
7.
we're now
Glory,
maxed on
okay.
glory with that roll.
Yeah.
Glory seems to be a common role for me today with Medicae.
All right, so yeah, you can definitely this GM's such a tyrant. I see how it is. Okay, so you were able to tell that these are baseline humans, but they have received modifications or intentionally
Received.
basically updated themselves with like to keep as much blood in their body as possible. Like they are literally walking like blood sacks to an extreme. Like these boils on them are meant to contain as much blood in them as possible.
Is there a point to that? Can I discern a point, or are we just going with because
That's
Alpha-
you you can't discern any social reasons without asking them, but that's what they're medically doing.
Can I, these guys don't look like doctors. I don't feel like I'm going to have any sway, and I don't think my inquisitorial emblem means absolutely.
You're taking your time there, but we gotta poke you with the. Tim's got the stick there, and he wants to poke you.
Can I ask why?
Well, what do you mean, why?
It's not common for us in the Slimperium to have this done to us.
Oh, good. So you're from the Slimporium. Good. That makes things easier. Well, you see, we're the Blood-backed. We are the followers of the Bloody Ones, the Golem Kings from beyond the skyline. And, well, we think that you being here is a return of the Golem Kings. But in order to make sure you're the right return, we need to make sure you possess the correct amount of blood. So just to make that work, Tim's going to give you a little poke. We're going to make sure that the blood is good, and then we'll be on our way.
One thing before we submit to a blood poke, because we definitely will. I guess I'll deception on that.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's a 4.
Okay. Yeah. They seem to be buying a little bit of what you're saying.
We definitely will submit to this, but just for curiosity's sake, not saying we will, of course, but suppose that we do not meet the check. What is your then next course of action? Just so we can be clear on things.
Well, we got to make sure that you make the check. Otherwise, we're just going to have to take all your blood for ourselves, because that's what we do. Got to make sure that that we can get as much blood as possible, so the Golem Kings will be happy with us. There's a lot that we try to take, but the heretics of foul suckage, they try to keep us down.
I lean over to Reeb, going, "Cannon's ready."
Keep it ready. I don't like this. So, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Give me a moment. I'm looking through my. Oh, so I know this. I know I have absolutely no idea what this will do. At least in terms of these guys. But I would like to have Reeb go forward. But if I may I stealthily brandish a syringe of stim, just hidden in my cufflink somewhere.
Give me a stealth check for that, sure.
Oh, good.
Now, there's only a meter separating Lorn and Braine from these things. Like, they appeared right at the doorway. So.
Oh my goodness, for glory!
There's another glory.
We're capped out, but
yeah. So
so many glories. Good gravy.
Yeah. So you're like right in front of this guy with your syringe.
But is it hidden?
Oh yeah. They don't seem to. They seem more interested in you. Like, oh, good, you're coming up here now. We can have Tim give you the poke, and we'll check.
Can I give Tim the jab of the stim syringe, please?
Tim is further back. He's holding it, and there's like 2 of them in front of you in the doorway. So here, I'll give you a view of the tactical situation.
Oh, Christ.
Right here.
Right. Good. So I would like to give. Who's the one talking to us? Is the one talking to us wasn't Tim?
This one right here. No,
the one directly ahead.
Yeah.
So again, just because I have no idea what this is going to do, but there's so much blood in them that it's going to do something. I'm going to give him the stim jab.
Oh, okay. So you're going to like surprise him and.
Well, if I can sneakily jab him, I'd like to do that.
I want to sneakily syringe him. Okay, give me a weapon skill test.
All right. Gentlemen, can I take 2 of our dice?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
got it counted.
Yep, here we go. So here's the weapon skill test normally. I mean, that's still pretty damn
nice.
good. So
and then 2 more?
Well.
Yeah.
1.
Nothing else. But still more than enough to hit. So, yeah, you smash into this thing. What are you... So you're just, like, loading him up with stims?
My intention is... Well, I'm going to reveal my plot now. Reeb was doing this because he wanted to see what would happen. But I'm assuming that because stim is, like, a really, like... It's a very hyperactive kind of drug. Like, it makes you very active.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not sure what effect this will have on a giant man filled with blood.
Let's find out. Let's have him make a toughness test.
Oh.
Ooh, that's 1.
Oh.
What happens
Oh.
now?
Well then, yeah, it's all right. I think it's a good day to. Don't you know? Tim, you gotta poke this one. You think he's got good blood in him? Oh yeah, you should go poke him. Move out of the way there. Tim, you go up.
Hold on a second.
And Tim looks at you with these wide eyes, holding the syringe.
Now with this done, is he actually tweaking like crazy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do one last deception if that's allowed.
Okay, sure.
What do you mean, take our blood? You already did it, my friend.
Oh God. Okay.
You're going a bit too fast, my friend. We've already had our blood checked.
Okay, give me a check. It's a 4.
What do I need to meet?
Do you want to spend more? I would say that this is a bit more difficult. This would require a 5.
Can I assist him?
We got 4 glory left. You can spend 3. Let's save 1 just in case.
I will pull. I'm gonna be careful and pull 2.
Okay. Roll 2d6.
No.
Not enough.
Can I wrath that?
I will allow you to click the reroll. Sure, it doesn't reroll the glory, but I'll be beneficent and let you reroll the 1 fail.
Oh, it's a 6.
So
total 6.
Oh, I guess we did, didn't we? Tim, did we? I don't think we did. What about this one? And he kind of points the syringe towards Braine. You should see this one's blood. He's got red cloak. It means he has better blood.
You are an idiot. I will tell you this. 2 things, and then if you touch me, there will be bad things that happen. Okay, number 1. Are you working with what was her name? Aruba. What was the lady's name?
Ruber.
Ruber.
Lorn just moved
Lorna.
back.
Or no, not Lorna. Lorna. I was like, yes, Lorna. That was her name. Oh God, what the hell was that creature? Rubania. Are you involved with Lady Rubania or opposed to Lady Rubania?
Oh, you're talking about here ticks a foul suckage. We don't deal with them. They're our enemies.
Oh, yeah, your enemies. Why?
Well, because they take the holy blood out of them because they believe in the other substance.
What is the
other substance?
Well, yeah, the other substance. The white.
The white?
Well, they take the blood out of them so that they got more of the white in them.
It's anemia. They worship anemia.
Yeah. So why are you opposed? Why can't you live in harmony?
Well, because we believe in the old bloody ones, don't you know?
What are some of the old bloody ones?
Well, they were the big golem kings that came from the skyline, and they wore red, and they told us to appreciate the blood.
I see.
But you see, they worship the other side of them. The marble compact. They believe in the white.
Mm. And what is the white?
All haughty and think they're so noble and so smart, like they can rule over everyone.
I see. Then it appears to me that I must be the one to bridge your gap.
What do you mean?
I am not a one of red blood, nor am I one of white. I come bringing the word of the Omnisire, and I unscrew my hand with black blood, and I let oil drip onto the floor.
Reeb's gonna step out of the way, and I will.
Lorn gets in position.
I am the one who will bring peace to your lands.
And there's this shout, and Tim reaches back with the syringe and goes to stab it at you. Just this absolute heresy that you have undone on him. Do any of you want to spend a glory to act in the surprise round as he goes to stab?
Can I at least make a check?
For Lorn, doing the hand sign for Lorn to do his thing.
Yeah, Lorn immediately wants. I want to immediately spin a glory point.
Yeah, sure.
Lorn, go ahead and make some black pudding.
Okay, I got. I bought scoop. All right, what is? So here's. I didn't switch the thing.
Okay.
What is the blast template that I need
For
Molten
what?
Beam?
Molten beam.
Okay, so that's a medium blast.
Mm-hmm.
And since we aren't using the like
Bullshit giant
ridiculous
one.
rules of giant templates, because my god, it has a radius of 3 squares.
For fuck's sake.
Yes, so you would like in a close quarter area, if you are intending to use it,
Mhm.
you would like have to like
I was
basically
gonna
put it like there.
Yeah,
you would have to target
I was
it
gonna.
here.
So everything is in a line, and
No.
whatever's in-
It's a
okay.
line that goes
Yeah.
out and then explodes in a blast.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically like D&D fireball. You
Yeah.
shoot out the little P and then it explodes. In this case, it's a line. But if the line hits anything, target struck by the beam. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's like
Striking.
beam instantly
Yeah.
travels across a straight line for 10 meters in the direction you choose, striking targets using a medium blade. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do.
You want to navigate it here so it like hits all of them. Okay, are you overpowering this, or are you just making a basic like psychic test for this?
That's the thing, isn't it?
You shoot
I
back
had-
left, or does it pass through? Does it impact and explode?
It theoretically, I think it like impacts and explode, like travels along for 10 meters, striking targets using a medium blast. So I think it lands at the point and then blows up. So that's
We're
how
going
I'm
to go with
run
that
it
for now, and
Yeah.
then we'll figure life out later. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
And I will not be overpowering myself because just in case, and I'm pretty sure
Okay.
this thing will do enough damage to just annihilate things. So, first off, I need to basically go against their
defense,
pretty much
which-
which is
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a wrath, which chat was able to give me one just to re-roll all of that stuff to
Sure.
give me a 6. So I
Okay.
should be able to do fairly well in that.
That will hit.
Yeah, I was hoping to
you
boost some more, but
Don't
Yeah, and- have
any exalted dice, so you can't shift
No.
anything.
I do 19 damage total for the blast.
Yeah. So you just like cook all of these.
Go whoop.
They all like there's this blast of energy that goes out and it pops in the air, and then they all like melt into these puddles of steaming blood that curdle on the floor.
I tie off my kind of wipe off some possible blood dust off of me, and hold up.
And then one of them comes out
Had
from
to
behind
sneeze.
cover and like looks up and sees like Lorn's hand with the psychic energy. No, and takes a shot at you, Lorn.
Oh, of course he will. He's north of us.
But where is he be?
Anyone else want to spend a glory point to stop him from killing me?
I'll spend a glory point. I'll light
Thanks.
this dude up. I'm just gonna take a big old shot with my arc pistol.
So you, yeah. Okay, so yeah, spend a glory point. Okay, so you see him run in. I'll allow you to take a shot with your arc pistol.
Overwatch.
Yeah, glory Overwatch.
Gloverwatch.
You want to spend a wrath die to re-roll it just in case?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Or not.
Or
Oh,
not.
okay.
Or not.
I assume
But
you still hit him.
you'll still hit. You'll still hit. Roll damage.
Boom.
That's 14 damage. -1 AP.
I'll mark a toughness. Actually, a determination roll. That's what I'll do. Let's see here. That's just a toughness test.
Will he survive?
Test.
Oh,
-4.
Oh,
So he takes 3. So he's up. He still has 2 left. And then
did what I could.
He shoots you. He shoots you, Lorn.
Oh, actually, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
He shoots you with the las gun. Pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4.
Will
So
3
that-
hit you?
That'll also be a complication, thanks to
I
chat.
God damn you, chat. All right, I'm gonna-
A 3 will hit.
Okay, I'm gonna roll damage real quick just to see what happens there.
See how I die.
I'll do 9 points of damage to you.
Cool. So 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 3, and I now have to go ahead and make myself a determination thing in
to
hopes
see how much damage.
had to see how much I'm going to just fall to the ground, and I make none of them, so I take full 3 damage.
As this like las bolt sears on you, and then I get a 23 for my combat complication, which is out of ammo. So he comes out, fires his las gun in this like blast of red like flashlight energy, and then clicks again, and it just makes this click click sound as he looks down at it.
It's a flintlock.
A flint las.
He starts taking more lasers and starts putting it in the barrel and stuffing it in.
No. Oh no, that's not good. And then in the final part of the surprise round, another one comes out.
Near Pie Braine.
I like how you're like, doesn't shoot me. Why would it ever shoot Lorn? It does shoot Pie Braine.
Excellent.
Wow, don't be too. That's weird.
Holy shit!
Hits you with a 6. So I
God.
believe that also allows me to shift 1, which I will do for a bonus damage dice. Though I'm
Yes, it
pretty sure this
does.
won't do anything to you, but let's find out. No, it does 8 points, which I think just bounces harmlessly off of you.
Yeah, just ping.
Yeah, but we still get the critical effect. So let's see what my critical is with this lasgun that hits you.
Instant death.
These are not troops, by the way. I'm treating them as higher so they can crit you. So that is vicious vivisection. The flurry of blows causes horrific pain, so dissecting pieces of the foe's body in a scene of carnage. All right, so what happens is this one comes out and manages to shoot just as you've taken off your arm and have the oil going out, and the flashlight hits right in there. And you take 1d3 mortal wounds.
Also, that one also needs to be a complication.
Oh my gosh, I hate you people. I mean, I love it. People. Please.
There's 2 of them queued up, man.
Wait,
great.
if it was a complication, then it wouldn't have been a critical hit.
I think we should allow the critical hit just because.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
I will do a complication so Thurston never crits.
That's right. Okay, so you'll take 1 mortal wound, and then the next thing I do will be a complication guaranteed. But you guys get to go now. Regular initiative.
Now, can I roll to soak a mortal wound or no?
No. Only demons can do that. You're not a demon.
Only demons can do that, shithead.
These people are demons.
Fuck you, peasant.
As he like stands over the charred remains of his friends, like the blood boiling in the air. He also, as he shoots at you, he just inhales the bloody vapors. Like, oh, did he scoot me?
I will bring peace to you. Peace of the grave.
Who would like to go first?
Yeah, I already went with my glories.
We're into that was the surprise round because you two chuckles gloried. So now it's anyone connect whenever.
I think Zedek should go.
Like I can begin the cast, but Reeb hasn't got to do a thing or Pirates. I vote for those 2 to go first.
I'd like to let Pi go because I just did like a barrage of checks to try and get us out of the situation that ultimately failed.
Sure.
Because Pi decided to pee on them.
Do I see anybody here?
So you're going to move up to there?
Yeah.
So as you do go through a threatened area, and it takes a stab at you with the bayonet, which is going to do nothing. Just watch.
Whoop.
No, it's 4, but it's going to complicate. So
yeah, it does. His offense is 4. And
yeah,
actually,
it will hit
5 in combat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, in combat's 5.
Yeah.
You're friggin' weird. But 43. So that's no good. So in combat, a 43 is his weapon gets stuck. So his las gun, he goes to stab you and like embeds it in the side of the ground, like at the start of the steps. He's like, "Oh no, it's stuck in the ground."
All right. Do I see any other ones of these creatures?
Nope.
All right then. Well then, time to get cooking. I'm going to start cutting this man to ribbons.
Sure.
And I'll
Give
make
me
an
an attack roll.
With 5, do I do it?
A 5 is more than enough to do it, and you don't even have to roll. Well, actually, roll damage. You could
Yes,
terribly
I should.
fail, I suppose.
Yes, so I'm going to roll up with putting my foot down on the blade that came down, bringing my arm around to do 13 damage at AP -3 across this man's midsection.
He just dies. he just dies. Oh, also, mark me down a rune point. I forgot when I used determination on this one.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's your go. I will go with the other one, who will spend a move action to reload, then shoots at Captain Zedek because Captain Zedek shot him.
It was merely a morning shot. It just happened to hit him.
2 doesn't hit you, does it?
Your defense is 2.
Yes.
Aha.
But would you count him as being in cover from the table?
No, because I didn't count the bloodback as being in cover from the arc pistol.
Well, that sucks for you, Zedek.
Pew pew, and then I do 8 points of damage to you, which I think is
soak it
like
up.
your resilience.
I
So you take 1 shock. Cool, and that's him.
I would like to return fire on him and fry him to death
Please roll your attack.
with gusto.
Oh my God.
He's going to die. Would you like to shift 2 of those to more damage?
Sure, I think he's gonna die either way.
Captain
but why
Zedek
not?
rolled a 7, and 2 of those dice were 6s, which means he can now bring those up to
fuck.
additional damage.
Or he will roll no bonus dice. But
I mean, he didn't
you'll kill
roll
him.
both of
You'll
them.
kill
but
him.
Yeah, he got it.
You hit him with the arc pistol to the chest, and he staggers back. The energy blast hit, like sizzling off and popping some of his bloody pustules as he falls down dead.
Give the man a heart attack. Nice.
I think we're
The whole body appears to be
now ready. Excellent job, everyone. Reeb, can I get a little help here?
Yes, of course. Reeb is just kind of eyeing the body of the big bulbous red man as he strides over to Lorn to Medicae him.
Sure.
Watch this be the one that
The one that complicates, or you'll roll an 11.
Wow.
Yeah, Lorn, you're back to full. Like
Nice.
once
Thanks.
again, it's like old man cracking limbs, and yeah, you're golden.
I guess I'll walk over to Braine and see if I can help him put his hand back on.
I'm just kind of screwing it back, or try blow out like the little fires that started going up. I was so happy. I wanted to bring peace to this awful people and maybe get them to stop being so awful and fleshy and disgusting. But I suppose we'll just have to kill them all.
Oh, Braine, peace is the greatest lie of all.
You said it.
Can I put that on a t-shirt?
Okay. Yeah.
dead body.
You can find
So-
that in chapter 12.
God damn it. So with that, with that lovely lie, we have a brief fade to black, and we cut to shortly thereafter when our heroes have met up with Amalthea again in sort of the noble quarter, having approached her after being attacked by whatever those things were.
Mm-hmm.
She is greeting you in a large open balcony that leans over the side of the alabaster hive spires.
High stakes billiard negotiations, huh?
Why, hello there. I've heard that there has been some trouble transpiring in your apartment. I do apologize.
Yes, we were attacked by some pernicious pustules who wanted to take our blood.
Oh, do not incorrectly associate pus with those foul bloodbacks.
What?
Okay.
She kind of like tuts and breathes. I apologize. Do the bloodbacks are a problem. They are a pest and a menace on this world with their incorrect beliefs.
Wait. You have nothing but pus inside of you, and you've kept that in, and you've extracted your blood back onto your back.
obviously, we espouse to the great belief of the blood wolves who came here in the golem kings in their shining white armor. We attempt to be like them.
I roll determination. Just bleh, bleh. Just like Lorn vomit somewhere.
So,
Well, you guys are at least lucky to know that because of my Medicae check that I rolled on the food, that it's not pus, it's just food that's been cultivated to look white. Very good.
This
But I believe now is the time for negotiations, now that you have dispatched the foul bloodbacked.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, touching back to the matter at hand, you are no doubt aware that you have fell behind on your ties to the Imperium for the last, 10,000 years?
I do believe there is a matter of some owing to the Great Slimporium. That is correct.
You are very astute. You are very knowledgeable. Lady
I am the
Rynningsgatan.
representative of the Great Marble Compact that lords over halves are canon and all halves on this world.
Well, I can see why they chose you. Such a robust and charming, how do they say, burug, frog. Yes, it's a very high Gothic word. You familiar with the term?
Well, I'm not familiar with many of your newfangled terms in your modern Slimporium, but I trust that the Slimpig has sent you here.
Yes, he has.
One must assume so.
In fact, we are under direct orders from the Slempig to bring you back into the fold. And after seeing what your world has to offer, we must, of course, talk the manner of that said very same debt. Now, granted that it has been well over 10 millennia since you've contributed to the Imperial cause, certainly that recompense is astronomical by most means, but it is likewise on our part for not reaching out sooner, like the good neighbors across these myriad stars that we should have been. As such, we're willing to look past the level of debt, per se, that you are owing us.
Well, that is very kind of you, great ambassadors of the Slimporium, because we have nothing left.
What do you mean you have nothing left?
Well, you see, after the first millennium since the Slimporium contacted us, we used most of our natural resources to build our great hive cities in the honor of the great Slimpig. But after that, well, we had to keep growing up because that is what we were told by the Slimporium. So our cities kept growing higher and higher. And then, well, we of the Marble Compact realized that those spires, the tops of those spires must be marble and white. In the great honor and tradition of the Blood Wolves Golem Kings. So we decided that we would find other means of resource management and gathering.
And what are those means? Do tell, Lady Rubania.
Well, we have gathered resources from wherever we can. We have taken from everything from this world, and well, once we were done with this world, the only way we could get the resources necessary for these great walls, and she's like taps the white wall, like the alabaster white undulating wall. Well, we had to take from our people in small doses over these millennia to build up this great capital.
Zedek's kind of parsing what she's meaning by this, and
Yes, Reeb. Would you like to Medicae the walls?
Yeah.
As a totally non-permissive GM, I will allow this.
I'm sorry, Hulky, by the way. I need this dispelled fast, or I'm going to have a problem.
Oh no, don't worry. I am right there with you.
Just keep distracting her while Reeb goes off and etches a little bit of the wall off so he can look at it with his No doubt,
sure.
impending complication or an 11.
Yes. All right, let's put a little cap in this, everyone. Reeb goes off to the side to study the wolves. Zedek, you're continuing negotiation. Pi and Lorn, are you like backing Zedek up in these talks? What are the two of you doing? We'll start with Pi. What are you doing?
Pi is just analyzing things. He is taking this all in, and he is thinking to himself of a strategy. But he is waiting for there to be a appropriate time for him to pull Zedek aside or to interject.
Okay, absolutely. Reeb, sorry, not Reeb. Lorn, what are you doing during this?
I'm playing on my Fox boy, just not paying attention.
All this politicking stuff is boring.
I'm multitasking several things right now, but it's like that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just tell me we need to blow something up. This is just
Okay. So yeah, Zedek. Yeah, she sort of like looks at you and continues her conversation. Oh, so as I say, we do not have much. We can offer a paltry sum of soldiers, but our material is much depleted. Most of what we have left now is enough to barely support this world, I dare say.
I raise my hand.
remember the salt. Remember the salt.
Why, yes,
Captain Zedek.
divine servant of the rowboat machinies.
I am an emissary of the Golem Lords.
Well, yes, if you serve the great Slipping.
We do, and I'm here to tell you that you have done a really great job, but now it is bad. You must change your ways, as the Slimperium has changed. As you change. Look, shut up. You need to stop this horseshit. No one cares. And I points at the spires. And instead, you need to become normal. Because this is crazy, dude.
Whatever do you mean normal?
Yeah, shit's fucked. I go back to playing.
I unscrew my hand and I reveal the oil.
And she looks at him. Oh, I suppose you truly are servant of the rowboat machinies.
I am a servant of the Omnisire, and I tell you this, you have much to offer the Imperium. So few people have access to the weapons of war you have reserved from the great period before. You may offer them to us as a great boon against your payment. But it becomes clear to me that over your centuries of survival, you have done goofed, ma'am.
Well, I think that we have done fairly well for ourselves in keeping Habza Cannon and this world.
It is a great place, but now it is stupid and it must be changed.
What he means by that is that your ways, although they are cultural and wonderful and traditional, are outdated by Imperial standards. Such is your resource plight. But as he said, you still have much you can offer the wider Imperium and the Slimper himself. Your world, though dry and desolate, is filled with salt and machinery that has been lost to the eons. Surely, if you are planning to leave this world to the beasts as it is, you could afford to forego that or yield your secrets and technology unto us so that we may enrich the human cause and forestall your extinction.
I suppose there's one small thing that may be of interest to you that might be worth something to the Slimporium.
What?
Do share.
Well, there once was an outpost of the rowboat machinies in the lower levels of Havzakanen, a small outpost where they had some of their agents working. They went by some different name back in those times, some kind of mechanius. Mechanium! That's it, it's the mechanium.
DM, do I need to roll Scholar to know anything about the mechanium?
You can give me a Scholar test, absolutely.
Okay. Because I feel like Pi is probably more knowledgeable than the average person. I just don't know what precisely you know. And with that roll, that's 3 successes.
I mean, you know enough basic history of the Adeptus Mechanicus to know prior to that, during the ages of the Great Crusade, they were known as the Mechanicum, which sounds an awful lot like this, which means this would be some kind of installation from 10,000 years ago of the Mechanicum, which would mean the tech would be pretty impressive.
Yes, that would be great boon. All that information and knowledge from the era of the Mechanicum. Yes. But there is still the small issue of your awful, stupid culture.
Braine.
And your dumb, stupid...
I pull him back and like, go on, Zedek. Look, Braine, Vox Boy.
Like a Vox Boy?
Here, beat this level for me. Go, Zedek.
I will re-enter the conversation. We will have to discuss the nature of your Riven society at some point, as well as the circumstance of your bio-augmentations as...
Tiny bit
they
closer
may not
to your mic.
necessarily... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just dumb. We will have to discuss the nature of your bio-augmentations and your clearly divided society and your planet being virtually dead already at some point, but I assure you, look into the vast, deliciously salty resources you have available, and we may consider that as part of the tithe while we investigate the mechanium in the lower levels of the hive.
Amalthea claps her hands together. Oh, well, that sounds absolutely charming. I will let you go off. I will provide you the coordinates into the lower hive of this installation, and you may go and you may investigate, and I will prepare quotas of salt tithes to satiate any needs.
Wonderful. Also, could you look into the technology that you have, such as the effluent sacks on your backs, as well as the weaponry that your guards were using? I'm sure our Robonium companion would greatly appreciate that.
I need to know how you're making that stuff.
Oh, of course. I will leave this up to you. I will go speak with our biologians, and this is an excellent day. I'm glad we can come to an agreeable settlement. And she kind of claps and walks off, leaving you in this balcony to have some time alone to talk.
Holy crap, guys. We're sitting on a motherload here. We need to fix this planet and make it grow sideways.
Braine, I'm gonna level with you. I think this planet's basically kaput. I wouldn't be surprised once we get those resources if we could just bulldoze it and use the parts to rebuild another planet.
You fool, Zedek! If we ruin the planet, then we will get 0 point. It'll be like we've never here. But if we can grant this bountiful mechanical technology and preserve at least a few minds that know how to produce it, we could create a powerhouse of industry, a new forge world, and restore more knowledge to my glorious quest for knowledge. Yes, these things must be done.
Your glorious quest for knowledge?
The glorious quest for knowledge of the Mechanicum. As a tech priest of the Mechanicum, it is my sworn duty to bring knowledge back to the light of the Omnisire. Now then,
I put a hand on Braine's shoulder, and I'm like, "You're not a tech priest yet."
I am a tech priest.
You're not a tech priest yet. You gotta stop this. Says Braine.
I'm a tech priest.
I grab his
They
arms and I
gave me a
shake him.
promotion.
You're not a tech priest yet. You gotta let it go. You have to let it go.
I am, and I grab Lorn. I was given the rank of honorary tech priest by Forge World Lemuria. It is my duty to see to it that my duties are fulfilled.
Are you lifting me up? Like I grab you because I'm an old man. I can't do it. But then you grab me back. You lift me up.
Yeah.
Is it just like is it like troll physics where you're lifting each other into the air?
Yeah, we're going higher and higher.
Each other up. Yes.
Please come down.
Okay, and I come down. But I may not be a full tech priest, but I am still an honorary explorator. And if I prove my worth to the Forge World, I could be so much more. In so doing, we will do it here. And we must write a new compact. Not one of this horrible pus of the horrible blood, but one of machine. The Compact of Black.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
shall we make our way to the Harvest Lighter so we may go to the distant outpost that was mentioned?
I believe it's in the lower levels of this hive. I'm not sure if
Yes.
the Arvis can take us there.
But you have been provided information that indicates how you can get down into there through taking like the industrial elevators they have.
The sooner we can be done with this place, the better. We are in the midst of a biohazard.
You're saying what I think you're saying, aren't you?
So what
Captain?
about his medic check over there?
He knows.
I know.
Okay.
Reeb is being very intentionally quiet. Gentlemen, I believe it's time we move on.
Let's go to the elevators then. Let's not be in this worse place. I hope there's metal below and not this.
Oh, metal. I can't remember the last time we've been on a planet with that.
All right, so you make your way down into the Underhive. As you do so, the sights of industry are all around you. The oppressive din of metal and machine all over and around. The gantries and clacking grated floors that stand precipitously above impossible drops into utter blackness. The occasional sounds of forge implements, the humming of machines, all of this surrounds you as you exit the elevator and make your way to the coordinates presented by Amalthea Rubania. Any of you doing anything particularly special during this little walk?
I got my combi tool out. I'm just putting shit in. I'm like, what is this? Oh, what is this?
I'm gonna level with you, Thurston. Earndil's checked out.
Okay. So what exactly are you looking to do? Like just with your combi tool?
Oh,
Braine.
I'm trying to get analysis of all of these areas. I'm trying to understand what sort of power went into all of this. I'm trying to track kind of just anything of interest to my tiny little...
Yeah, absolutely. So give me a tech check.
Okay, absolutely.
Tech check.
Check.
There's a complication.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you what the
Well, 4
complication
dice.
is. So you are going around, and as you are like checking the various devices and various cogitator units, there's a slight moment where when you hit one of the cogitators, you manage to just activate a subroutine that causes an alarm to start going off. It looks like the device was just entirely a trap device intended to produce that kind of noise.
Need a machine that screams.
And as that's going on, you all of you start hearing the tread of footsteps, like running footsteps on grating, probably a dozen or so.
Should we
And-
take cover?
I think
Yeah, like, there's
we've tripped
there's
it
cover
along,
around.
everyone. Yeah, I immediately take cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into cover.
I will do the same.
Who's out there? Who's out there? You're in the lower toads territory.
We're the bigger toads. What's up to you?
Bigger toads? I ain't heard of you. Are you new people?
Yeah, we some new people. We're here to help out the little toads, beat up all the other not toads that are not us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, guns down, boys!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hi, I'm Demetra.
You're what?
I'm Demetra.
I'm Lorn. Nice to meet you.
Come on, and she like waves, and you can see like a bunch of people like holding like low quality auto guns and auto pistols and just like very grody weapons that they put more at like ease, and they walk up, and this lady sort of like waves her hand. She's like, hi.
We're here to beat up those other stupid gangs and whatnot. We hear they have like some tech that we've been wanting to be interested in, for the boss, which is me. And I like flare out my coat a little bit. And like, yeah, we basically want to get some of that cool tech to kind of help dominate this section. You in?
You here for the rowboat room?
Yeah.
It's over there. She kind of points to this like immense sealed square chamber that has an immense cog mechanicus on it. None of us can get in there. We tried. If you can get in there, that'd be great.
Let's cover our backs, you see, because we got to do some work on that. If we can't get through, awesome. If we can't, we're gonna look around a way to figure that out. You got it?
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, boys, come on, get in position.
I give him a wink, and I go, all right, let's go, boys.
Yeah. And you just, like, walk on past.
Oh, my God.
All right. Thanks, Lorn.
Lorn, you are a diplomat.
Tribes for life. Like, keep going.
Yeah, and you get to the door, which is sealed and has, like, a small cogitator unit beside it.
This is the robot room.
All right, tech priest. Get on it.
Yes. Reeb.
Yes?
You are one of the more intelligent ones of my compeers. Might I ask for your assistance in this most delicate of matters?
Reeb will approach the object that Pi is having difficulty with. Again, noting the comedic notion of the medic having a higher tech.
Yes.
I still intend to make the tech roll. I just want some assistance.
That's fine. I will assist as best I can.
Give me a tech check Braine first.
Okay, sure thing.
I can help if you want.
No.
With 5 successes.
A 5 is actually just enough, and you realize that these are older codes, but you're able to access it with, like you have stored codes for a whole bunch of different Mechanicus outposts, especially as a Skitari. You have a lot of codes that are built in, knowing you might end up in a situation where you find some old outpost or whatnot. And the security clearance on this is old, but it's not particularly like high security. So it just crackles open, and the door opens to reveal a room that's just lined with cogitators and cogitator screens.
Cogitators, yes. I will go up to examine one of these cogitators. I want to find out what information is on it.
And you don't have to make any more checks. As you go up and you start examining, you can see what this is. This is a data relay point. It stored a lot of data, particularly sending signals via the satellites in orbit of this planet to the moon. And on the moon of Skargeris Prime, you see notations for a full-scale mechanicum outpost.
Is there any way for me to contact them?
It looks like they've stopped sending transmissions here, though everything that's happened has been through automated cogitators. So whilst there's been no like back and forth transmissions to this installation, what you do see is that it's done check-ins, and the cogitators on the moon outpost have checked back, indicating the outpost is still active, but there may just be no one manning it anymore.
Can I perhaps make a check to modify the cogitator to be able to send out a signal, a communication that if picked up could be rendered into some kind of...
You could tell you could actually just activate that system like without any type of skill check. That's one of the things you can do here.
All right. I'm very quickly going to take this cogitator and I'm going to relay a message in binary code. This is Tech Priest Expirata Pi Braine of Forge World Lemuria. Respond any and all survivors of Mechanicus Outpost upon... what's this moon's name? Whatever the moon is called. This is urgent. Any survivors, please respond.
And as you said that, I think that's where we're going to call today's episode.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Thurston, for an awesome session. Hooray! And I would like to say thank you to our Skitari, Mr. Pie Braine.
Yes, thank you. If you want to follow me on my social media, I am on Twitter at SuperSnakeKick. I'm also on YouTube as Speaker D, where at some point, perhaps videos will be posted.
And I would also thank our inquisitorial acolyte for being here today.
Yep, that is me, Earndil, playing Reeb Van Horn. You can follow me on Twitter at Earndilio. And that is all I have to say at the moment. You're up next.
And I'd like to thank our captain or rogue trader of the party.
That's me, HulkyKrow. Thank you guys for coming out today. You can find me at HulkyKrow on Twitter. That's pretty much the only social I keep up to date with. If you find me on some other platforms, by all means, drop me a DM. I'd be happy to respond to you.
And I'd like to thank our game master for running an excellent session today.
Come back next time when we go to the moon.
The moon!
That's all. The moon!
And I have been your host, ZoranTheBear. I've been playing Lorn, the Sanctioned Psyker. And just as a reminder, as a blanket, just kind of reminder for everyone who kind of came in here late and didn't see the beginning announcements, which are very important. First off, all future VODs, episode 5, which is this one, will be up on Alfabusa's channel as a VOD. But all future ones, let me get rid of this other thing, all future ones will be on my channel, which is youtube.com/ZoranTheBear. So episode 6 in all throughout until we change something again or whatever, that's where all the rest of the VODs are going to be. So guarantee if you want to see the rest of the VODs after episode 5, then that's where you'll find them all. Additionally, you can also help support the show on Patreon, where we like to use this as a way to kind of update you all on what's going on. Patreon is a fantastic way to kind of keep in contact with you all. We also will be establishing because we're also going to a gated system now. So if you want to watch these VODs early, because we kept the first 5 episodes basically like as quick as we could kind of deal, and no kind of preview stuff or whatever. Now it's on a gated system. So basically we, like, say for example, what'll happen is like once this VOD is now done for episode 6, not this one, for episode 6, they're now going to subscriber only for Twitch, and then you'll see the VODs maybe 2 weeks after the show premieres. So just so you are aware, that's how it is. And just as Chad also said, episode 0, which was kind of like our episode like before we started doing this, that is also up on my channel as well. So, and it will still be going bi-weekly. So every other Saturday, remember, every other Saturday we stream. So remember, every other Saturday until we basically do it. Doesn't include live. No. Live just happens automatically. You don't have to do whatever for live. That's just for VODs. Just VODs in the podcast version. That's it. Just to kind of help with the confusion. On Patreon, we literally have a step-by-step guide on how all this executes. So just check the blog post there and the post we made there to get explained more. If people are still confused, I'll make another one. So yeah, streams happen just normal. Everything else, just you all aware. So basically, next episode will be on September 5th. I hope you guys can make it there. And please stay tuned to our Twitter and everything. That's at WarHams Show, just in case we have to delay a thing. Just so you are aware. So with that, everybody, thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate your awesome support. You guys came in like just an absolute like an absolute team, and we greatly appreciate it. And one of the final things I want to say for those of you who've been super active with the show and really want to help be part of it even more, we're starting to basically include some extra stuff in the future where we want you as a community to influence the game, not just basically with like donating and stuff like that, but just by playing games. You know, just by like playing playing like Warhammer 40K or even Warhammer Fantasy maybe in the future, just basically stuff in general. So I encourage you to join my Discord, to where we want you guys as potential tribes of the debt collector to come together and fight each other to influence what's going through. So we all want you to start playing games, finding people to play with on the Discord, start reporting what you're doing sometime in the future. But for now, join the Discord, see if you can make some friends there, start learning how to play your games, and once we get a system set up, you might be able to inflect or influence WarHams in some way. So with that, I think we're done, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yes.
I think we shall now be leaving. Thank you all so much. We will see you all next time.
Farewell. Bye.
Thank you all, beautiful people.